How's it going, everybody? I am Kyle from Fantasy Fort Studios, and we are back with Everlast, a game that I am creating, a tabletop RPG set in the world of Everlast, completely original and all that kind of fun stuff. But yes, I am the creator, and we have our playtesters, our first players. We are going to be joined by everybody tonight. Ikari's having issues with his camera, and Cole will be here later. So everyone's coming. We're good. Past the technical difficulties, we're all prepared to be able to, adventure a little bit in the world of Everlast. But first and foremost, I'm going to have my players introduce themselves one by one before we go ahead and dive right in with a little bit of some recap. So let's go ahead and start with Max.
Hello. Also, that opening song, it's a bop. Big fan. So good. Hello, I am Max. I play the lovely Zill, who is joined by the even lovelier Waffle, his pet mouse, that he is so excited to not be sharing an air face mask thing with. Don't think too hard.
With a rodent who hasn't gotten his deworming yet.
Yes, don't think too hard about that one. But Zill is the orphan of Helix, the teapot of madness, blacksmith extraordinaire, party tank, can take a hit, can occasionally and rarely deal a hit back. And is...
And soon to be the Refinium Prospector, apparently.
Yes. He's going to spend all his money, of which he has a small fortune somehow, on mining tools. And take a month off to go mine as much Refinium as possible.
I just hope you have all of these nicknames written down for him, and you can also add to that the owner of Waffle.
The owner, yes.
The owner of Waffles. People.
Oh gosh, where can I put this on my character sheet? I've got my notebook.
Anything else for Azil before you?
Nope, that's it.
All right, we're gonna go ahead and skip Luxalia for now and go ahead and jump on over to Yuki.
Hello, sorry, I was turning off ads. Because we didn't got time for those during Everlast. Anyways, hello everyone. I'm Forged, or Dane, here at Fantasy Forge Studios. I play the character Mistletoe Yuki. She is a silver draken from the Refinium Peaks. Speaking of Refinium and Peaks and prospecting and mining, she doesn't mine and prospect. However, she is a bard. So she is a blade dancer, which is the DPS class for bards, and she's pretty cool. She uses 2 broadswords to fight, and she's pretty sweet. Unlike Zill, she used to have a small fortune, but she's just such a kind, loving, caring heart, and spent it on the rest of the party members to make them comfortable and buy a house and, you know, be responsible. And now I think she's the poorest one in the party. So
is that responsible? If you don't have any money, you spent it all.
It is,
on others.
because I did it for the good of the party. And, you know, if I need to mooch off of someone, I'll mooch off of Thordane, because he's got cursed treasure. So
He does have cursed treasure.
she doesn't know that. She just knows it's treasure.
True.
Sorry. That's Yuki. So
Awesome. Our next character, Belbin.
Hi guys, I'm Connor. I play Belbin. Belbin is a Glyven from the Roku Horn, which is a pretty poor part of the town. You will most likely see Belbin wearing some rags. He doesn't really like new clothes. He'll rip them up and sometimes wear them, sometimes not. Yeah, he's the DPS character. He just goes around and I don't know. I try to control him. Sometimes he has a mind of his own though, so he is a wily one. And the rest of the party will tell you, especially Luxalia. She's very vocal about it. He is just out of control.
Zill owns a rat, and Belbin's the party's hood rat.
Yeah.
It's good stuff. And finally, before we go ahead and jump right in, our last character is Thordane.
Hello everyone, I am Akari. I play Thordane Mathariel, I completely got a mental blank there, sorry.
I was really excited for a second that we were going to learn some new information.
You will be soon, but no, unfortunately that was just a brain fade. Okay, I am Akari. I play Thordane Mathariel, a wood elf tracker who can track down just about anything except for his past memories.
I actually really love that. That's summed up in a very, very logical package. That's great.
He is incredibly shy and reserved. So shy, in fact, you can't see him, but apparently you can hear him breathing. So
It's good. I like it.
As long as we know he's alive, right? It's good. We're very, very happy to have him. A little bit of some extra stuff about Thordane. He's got a cursed sword, as Yuki mentioned. He has some cursed treasure. So yeah, that'll be fun too. So hopefully that comes into play sooner or later. But yes, very happy to have you, Ikari. And again, Cole will be coming soon for Luxalia, and when that happens, we'll have him do a brief introduction of Luxalia. But do you have anything else to add, Ikari, before we move on?
nothing for now.
All right, perfect. I am Kyle. As I had mentioned, I am the creator of this game of Everlast and also the Fate Weaver, helping both play with and against these players, but most importantly, narrating their adventures in Everlast to see how they make an impact on saving the world from the influences of the Void. But with that being the case, because this is a new game that is currently in the works, let's talk about some legal stuff. So Fantasy Forge Studios and Kyle LaFonte own all copyrights in the text, images, video, audio, graphics, story, gameplay mechanics, and all intellectual properties involved in the creation of Everlast. Do not take it, use it, sell it as your own. Yeah, it's not good. You have this copyright, so it's good stuff. But you can use it for your own, just kind of own mechanics so you can adventure yourself in the world of D&D for your own homebrew campaigns. But with that being the case, let's go ahead and move right into a little bit of a recap about the adventures so far of Eklos Eos, our group of adventurers, as they have made their way, and as we had mentioned before, nearly 5 years into the campaign. It's crazy to think about it. But currently, Eklos Eos are on the mission of gathering the Keepers of the Keys. They are the holder of the Earth Key, and they have already spoken with the Keeper of the Flame Key, Nagora Cragheim, and they were tasked on tracking down the Keeper of the Sea Key and then the Keeper of the Sky Key. And they had found, as they made their way up the inland strait, all the way to the city, the Sea Elf city of Feshenfey. They were able to track down King Farron, who is the Keeper of the Sea Key. And one thing led to another. They discovered that Princess Mila, his daughter, was kidnapped and taken. And so they decided to dive into the depths to go save her from the Krakora, a vile undersea living group of like eel people, which are not so good. But they went to go save them. One thing led to another. They killed giant sharks. They defeated a bunch of Krakora. They solved puzzles and eventually faced down Throlaka, the king of the Krakora. And by doing so, not only did they defeat his honor guard, but also the giant hydra that came out of his dead corpse. And with that and the saving of the princess done, they made their way back to Feshenfey City, where King Farron pledged that he would meet Eklos Eos along with all the other holders of the key in Flomberge on Aishan Island, all the way down here to the south, to discuss what measures need to be taken, as there is a rumor that some sinister evil work is at play. Not only were there at the Earth Pillar, which again Eklos Eos is the holders of, not only were there demonic presences and elementals there, but there seems to be a general sense of lethargy, and as was brought up last stream, that this could all potentially be the work of a archdemon by the name of Lolothi. And so they're going to go discuss what to do next. However, Eklos Eos do have to gather the last Keeper of the Key, which is Aldreg Monteblair. He is basically he is the patriarch of the Monteblair family, who resides on Skyspire Island. However, the last reported sightings of Aldreg Monteblair have been at Folden Rock, all the way northward in the Inland Strait. And before Eklos Eos make their way to Folden Rock, they have unlocked Feshenfey, the city of Feshenfey, as a haven rest, and so they will be taking at least a night to be able to get ready before they depart for the town of Folden Rock. And with that, let's go ahead and set the stage a little bit on where the party is at. And so after the conclusion of the conversation, and it was brought up that perhaps Princess Mila could join, King Farron took this to heart, and he said he would let you know. He would speak with his daughter, and he would get back to you. But at least for the meantime, for the rest of the evening, it is about 4 or 5 p.m. at night before you are able to basically be released from the palace grounds to be able to go find what you wanted to do to prepare for your next adventure, so to say. Is there anything that any of you have in mind before we jump into proceeding with the adventure? Is there anything that you want to do in Feshenfey before?
Does Feshenfey have a big market? Is there a lot of shopping?
They do, and so if you remember, when you first had arrived in Feshenfey, it like we mentioned, it's a pretty strict city with pretty strict laws, but they do have a market center, a market called the Starlight Market. And so there are a bunch of vendors and whatnot that sell all kinds of goods, weapons, but also a lot of like cloth craft and woodcraft and Feshenfey related goods, if you want to do that. They also have, so just a couple quick reminders of some of the places that you have visited before. You've also gone to Melindra's Haven, which is a inn that has all kinds of rooms and stuff to be able to sleep for the night. Chances are the rest of your crew have found their way into the city, and this would be the most likely place that you would encounter the rest of your crew at Melindra's Haven. But there is also the Silverleaf Tavern, which is known for their Silverleaf tea, a very special brew of tea that Belbin wanted to pour into alcohol for that.
Remember
Other than that, you haven't really had a lot of chances to visit some of the other places. They did mention to you a place called the Astral Archive, which is essentially a sanctuary of knowledge, but where all of the kids in Fesh and Fae go to school as well. Let's see, is there any of the? You've been to the docks, and the Tide Guard checkpoint. So you visited a decent amount of places in the short time that you've been here. But is there any place that sounds good to any of you?
I like to go shopping. I would like
I'd go shopping.
some new weapons, but I can be persuaded.
Always on the lookout for a forge.
Of course.
Which
I'm right
shopping is
here.
good.
Right here.
Good one. Good one. No, that was great.
I'm good. Thordane, anywhere do you want to go?
I'm fine wherever. Shopping's fine.
To go shopping.
Yuki and Luxalia, because Yuki's poor, will go to the place of education.
Okay. Perfect.
Yeah. We'll do shopping first, though.
Okay, so first, go into the Starlight Market. As was mentioned before, as evening begins to set, you are delighted to see a gorgeous, gorgeous sunset. The sunsets here in Fesh and Fae in particular tend to have a etherealness to them. They the orange and kind of purple sky reflects off of the white buildings, and it begins to almost kind of like bathe it in this kind of like sunsetty, almost kind of like rainbow prismatic kind of like aura. It's beautiful and gorgeous to behold. Beauteous to behold. But as you make your way to the market, this is all the more elevated, as you can tell that now is the time that most people are off doing their daily thing, from shopping to just getting groceries for the night. And as you pass by kind of the bay before making your way up into the market district, you see that there are a number of Fesh and Fae elves that are diving into the bay to return to their homes that are beneath the surface of the water. It's quite an interesting sight to see, but after spending so much time underneath the waves, you can have a better idea of what their lives there are about. But with that being the case, you make your way into the market, and there are a number of things. So, Belbin, you said you wanted to look for weapons. Is there anything else that you're keeping an eye out for?
No, just something to. My blackened hand wraps are getting low on durability, so just something to like replace those.
Yeah, or you can mend
When
them
time comes.
stuff like that. But yeah, absolutely.
Don't forget, durability did change.
Durability did change, and so now we're at a point where the only time that with weapons that you lose durability is if you get a critical failure, so a natural one on your hits, and so the chances of them falling below are going to be less. And also included in that, all of the durability values have been reduced, and so because your blackened webbed hand wraps are a rare item, I believe. They now have a durability of 7, I believe, and so
Yeah.
7.
I hit 3 natural ones though
Oh.
last time, so
yeah, that's rough. Yeah, absolutely, you can find a place to fix them, or even have just kind of some like backup replacement.
what would fixing them look like? Would it be cheaper, or if I got
It would absolutely be
something-
cheaper. So the thing about your
Really?
black and web hand wraps is because they're a rare kind of like special item. They're far more valuable than the majority of things you would probably be able to buy in the marketplace, just in general. And so fixing them would be good, but it also is nice to be able to have a backup just in case like your web wraps do break as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll go into the store and see if they can fix them up. Give me some durability back.
Perfect. And so one of the places that could be good for kind of like enchanted items is a place that is it has basically like oddities in like the elvish script written on like basically the main sign that leads in. As you enter, you're greeted with this kind of like whimsical looking elf, and she looks to you, and she like almost glides over to you. As she walks, like her canter is just like smooth as ever as she makes her way over to you, and she's like, welcome. What can I do for you today?
Oh, Belvin is annoyed just at the sight of her, I think. He'll just be like, hey, ma'am, lady,
The
Can
name is
you-
Alara.
Alara?
Yes.
Okay. Well, that's good to know. Alara, can you fix my hand wraps for me? Is that something you do here?
Let me take a look. As she holds out her hands, do you offer them over?
Yeah, I'll offer them over.
So the way that these hand wraps look is they have cloth on them, and as you begin to kind of unbind them, like the webs that are like coating the cloth stick to it, and so it doesn't like completely unravel. It kind of somewhat keeps its form as you kind of like undo them and you pull them off, and they actually are like pretty rigid, maybe from sweat, maybe from maybe just from the fact that it's able to hold its form. As she takes them and she investigates them, and she says, these look pretty beat up.
I've had them a long time.
Indeed. Let me see what I can do. And she makes her way over to the counter, and she pulls out kind of like this little like eyeglass as she looks them over and sees, and you can tell as she begins to trace kind of the web pattern. She like closes her eyes and she looks up to you and says, she puts her eyeglass down. This has a strange, dark property to him. And she examines you. Tell me, where did you find a mysterious artifact such as this? And she continues, she takes her eyes off of you, she continues to examine more.
Pretty sure I bought them down. Gosh, that was long ago. I've had them, like I said, I had them for a while. I think I bought them in some market a long time ago. Kind of, I don't know, doing in some shady part of town.
Peculiar indeed. Well, it looks like I can fix these up. It won't be so easy. As she takes basically like a sewing kit from underneath the desk, and she pulls out this needle. I'm gonna have you make an elemental skill check for me, Belden.
Alrighty, let's see. Elemental 9. 0 for the elemental.
She, as she pulls out this needle, you can see that there's almost kind of like this silver thread that comes off of it, and you can sense that there is a bit of some mana like residue that kind of like falls off of it. It's a mana residue that you are familiar with. It seems to be woven with a darkness mana. As she pulls this out, and she says, you know, this isn't going to be cheap to mend, but I can do it if you want me to do so.
How much are we talking?
Based on some of the damages, and there's some frayed bits here, and on this glove there's something that it's completely tattered in this one area, but I do feel I can bind it. This would probably run you in the ballpark of 20 EC.
20 EC. What if you left some of the blood stains?
Are you sure you want to keep those? They won't look quite as elegant. I do find that these could be quite striking if they're cleaned up properly.
Well, would the blood stains like take any effect off the durability of them?
No, I don't see that they would.
Okay, yeah, leave the blood stains. It's intimidating.
I see.
But 20 EC. If you leave the blood stains, how about 17?
Well, that will save me some time. I would have to, if I was to remove the bloodstains, I would have to soak them overnight. But fine. I can get this done in probably about 3 hours. If you return around 10 p.m. during closing tonight, they should be ready for you to pick up. 17 EC?
17 EC, let's do it.
The pleasure's all mine. And she goes ahead and she opens her hands to receive the 17 EC. I will get right to work on these 3 hours. I'll make sure to close earlier tonight so I can have my full attention to make sure that these are done. Clearly, you're an adventurer. You're clearly not from around here, and so I'm sure you have places to be and people to see.
Yep. Yep. Sounds good to me. I'll be back at 10.
All right.
Thanks, Elora.
You're very welcome. Your name, sir?
Belbin.
Belbin. I'll be expecting you tonight at 10, Belbin. Zill, what are you looking for?
Couple things. A bigger backpack.
Okay.
Some more smithing materials or weapon upgrades in general. And some ornament for my battle axe that would memorialize the victory over the Krikora. Because I've got the obsidian pommels from Flamongolith.
Okay. Did you take anything from down?
I don't think so, and I totally forgot about this ornamenting the axes till right now.
I know you guys took the shark fin.
Like,
Wherever that is. But
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, no, absolutely, for sure.
so
we can,
several different things.
All right, so
Or if I have-
let's recap. First, backpack. Second,
Yeah.
what was the second thing?
More metal. Always
Just
want more metal.
Okay. And then the third thing, an ornament. Okay, so
Upgraded hand axes.
So, if you are looking for metalworking, there is an open smithy. This is not quite the same. As you walk by it, you don't get the same like intense heat that typically comes out of a blacksmith area. And you see that there's this elf that is there, very young, beautiful complexion, but there's kind of a gruffness in the way that he furrows his brow as he strikes hard and true at his anvil. You approach. He does not notice.
Hello there, sir.
Make an
What-
influence
what
skill
is-
check for me.
Ooh, I'm good at that. Is this the first roll of the night?
For you,
19.
19. Yeah, continue.
What are you working on there?
He takes one more strike, and he picks up in his tongs the blade that he's working on, and he's able to he quenches it, and then he examines the blade, and without even looking at you, he says, "What does it look like? Elven blades." He's working on a sertang, as it were. And you see that there's this nice kind of like curvature to the sword. And he places it on the table and he takes a look at you, and he immediately, like, his eyes like grow wide in shock. Tell me, where did you get this immaculate piece of armor? And he stands up and he walks over to you and he just begins examining your armor.
Well, this armor is actually my own handiwork. I'm a bit of a smith myself.
Well done indeed. As he takes a couple steps back and he begins kind of clapping. He seems genuinely impressed with what you've done. So you come here for what reason?
Well, I've got a few purposes. I've got a few purposes here. You see, some of my weapons could use some upgrading. I've had more experience with them. I think I could handle something a little more professional, one could say.
Okay.
And also, I like to keep them a little personalized and point out the I think I got an Eklos Eos emblem engraved on my armor.
Hmm.
And then the obsidian pommels on my 4 axes. Like, I like to keep these things a little personalized, reflecting some of the things we've done. We just helped King Ferrand clear out a Krokora nest down in Tali Tali. So maybe somehow attach that to one, if not all, of the axes, or...
You've already
We're
made
up with that.
acquaintance with the Lord, have you?
Oh yes, we've made our rounds around the islands here.
I've heard enough. You should have led with that. And he leans over and he says, "You said upgrading is needed. This armor doesn't look like it can do a whole lot to that. This is quite impressive indeed. But these axes, I see that you have created an amalgamation of, well, at least deadly ferocity from what I can tell." And he runs his finger along like one of the hand axe blades, and he's like, "Just as sharp as could be, a little bit beat up, but..."
I try to keep them in as good a condition as possible, but sometimes there's more time for using them than caring for them.
Quite understandable, sir. What is your name?
My name's Zill. What's
Zil.
yours?
Ah, yes. My name is Galen.
Galen. Nice to meet you, Galen.
Nice to meet you, Zil. Tell me, you said you want upgrades made to these axes. They look to be beautifully procured with steel, right? Honed
Yeah,
steel.
they're steel.
They look to be beautifully procured with a nice steel finish. Hard and flexible. What would you like? What kind of upgrades would you like from this?
Well, what's the name of the city again? Sorry, I'm trying to just make a
Fashion
note.
Fae.
Fashion Fae, okay. Fashion Fae. Well, you notice these are, I mean, not very nice steel, but everything else I have here is higher quality metal. We've got some Damascus. Actually, this axe I could go for Refinium if I can find enough, but
The battle axe.
yeah.
You
That's
you
also
pulled
a,
this out too. You're just I can just picture you like offering all kinds of like weapons and stuff, and he's just like, as you're just unequipped, and he's just like, and he brings over a table, like he brushes some of like the excess ash and stuff off this table. He brings it over for you to start placing weapons and items on, and he sees that you have this battle axe, your hand axes. How many hand axes?
I have 3.
Okay.
Also, I've been trained in the ways of the Drakensmiths, so if you have time for me to help, I'd always need more practice.
You have also visited Flomberge, is that correct?
Yes, we have. We were there right before we came here.
Ah, I could tell from just looking at you, an adventurer through and through.
I've made my way around the block a few times.
I can tell, and, well, you're apparently skilled enough to be able to have survived at least the journey here, helped King Ferrand in what he needed to do. I am impressed indeed. But that is to say, depending on what you want me to do, I'm not sure that my skill could be enough for you. Do you have materials that you could provide? Unfortunately, I do not have any refinium that I could be able to use to be able to include. There's a very, very rare, expensive, and valuable material, you see.
I know,
And,
I've got 1 bar myself. I'm saving it for something special.
And he looks side to side and he leans over and he says, "I would keep that a secret if I were you. Even in the safe city of Fashion Fae, just those knowing that refinium exists, it puts
Thanks
you
for
in
the
danger in your life. It puts a target on your back. It is a valuable metal, much more valuable than golds and silvers and platinums and even jewels. This is something that, while it is not a, it doesn't come from any places within the inland strait. It is a, let's just say it is a target for pirates. There have been a few of sightings of them off the coast here, and
That's actually how we got our boat. We fought off some of them.
so you're not well, new to the ways of the sea, which sounds good.
Well, I have friends that are, and I'm still getting my sea legs. Me and water don't get along very well.
Well, hopefully you have a very sturdy and well-kept vessel to be able to keep your feet, well, out of the
Used
water.
to be.
I can't help you with your boat problems, but I can help you perhaps with your weapon problems. Let's see. So you want upgrades for
Yes.
these. Do you want me to... I do have some Damascus in stock. If you would like me to improve. When do you need this job done by?
How long are we here for?
You haven't really made a decision yet.
Okay. I'm not
We
on
can
a,
always stop back. That's the thing. So.
not on a particular time frame, but
Okay, that's good to hear.
our lives can take us off at a moment's notice. So probably the sooner the better. I
Understand,
do
working
have.
with Damascus isn't the easiest task, especially if I'm using it to improve something that's already of quite fine craftsmanship.
Would it be easier to just start from scratch?
Will take longer, that's for sure. It might be
Okay.
easier, but it'll take longer.
Okay. Would it be easy if you had some help?
Clearly, if you were the one who crafted these, you're quite skilled. Have you worked
These
with Damascus
axes.
much before?
No, I just purchased these. I actually don't remember. Did I make these axes? I don't remember. I know I made my armor. But
Armor smithing and blacksmithing are somewhat different beasts. However, if you can work with Damascus as well as you've done with your armor, I could use the help of someone like you to be able to perhaps expedite the process.
if I helped, would they be Draken made or no?
Yeah.
Or do I have to be the only smith?
No, I would say so because you're using your like specialty in order to
Cool.
improve them.
I mean, I'm trying to grow my craft, so I will always take a time to work alongside another clearly well-versed practitioner of the craft. That sword you're working on is
Oh, pish posh!
Very
It's just
beautiful.
it's just the run of the mill. The important thing is the materials that I use. I use only the best and the finest. I can't tell you the number of times that I've rejected flawed ingots from those who are seeking to sell for perhaps a fortune that their metals are not worth.
Makes sense. Well,
With a little bit of help, I can cut some of the cost off of, but let's go ahead and recap. What exactly do you want me to do with all of these? How can I help you?
I'm guessing you don't have enough refinium for the battle axe.
That is correct.
Okay, well, I've got 3 hand axes here, and I've also got 2 bars of Damascus myself.
I have, and he takes a look at the back. I have 6 bars myself.
Okay. Could we adorn all 3 of them?
I think we can smelt down. I think it'll take about 1 ingot each to be able to do so. We can recoat these. We can reforge these to make something that is perhaps more lethal, stronger, I think.
Excellent. Let's get started.
If you want to help, this will take, well, with using one of my Damascus ingots that I have in the back, and he begins calculating. With a little bit of help, I can complete this in 2 days' time.
Oh.
And it will cost you, and he does all of his calculations. This will cost you around 80 EC to be able to complete.
That's for the 1 bar and the...
And
his
of
time.
all of the his time and all of the
Okay.
houses.
I think we have a deal.
Ah, that's what I like to hear. And he holds out his hand for a handshake.
Great.
We can work.
Quick question.
Yes.
Sorry, this is kind of above game. What's the difference between Elven Maid and Draken Maid again?
Elven Maid increases the hit, and Draken Maid increases the damage.
What about when it comes to armor? Is there a difference?
The Elven Maid armor loses the effects of like the weight, and so it's like a lighter armor. So if you had like a Draken Maid Kyros, it would reduce like the
Elven Maid.
Yeah, the Elven Maid Kyros, it would reduce the what is it called? The
Stealth.
yeah,
Dude.
like the hit to stealth or priority initiative.
And then
Thornton's gonna have to get that checked out. He
would
still
a
has
Draken-
the Elven armor, right? They found.
I think so.
would Draken Maid armor just have an extra bonus to DV?
No, it doesn't give an extra bonus to DV. It increases the bonus to the amount of durability that it has.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it makes it
Cool.
thicker, essentially.
Cool,
Elven
cool,
armor, not so much, but the Drakens are like you can withstand more damage, more crits.
Mm-hmm. Oh, also, I have one last request for you.
Yes.
If I hypothetically had something already made of refinium, could you turn it into an ingot?
Many times, things that are made, weapons, armors, made with refinium, it's a fickle material. It's strong and very difficult to shape. I could smelt it down, but chances are there is a potential for it to potentially lose its
Okay.
worth. There is a chance that I could do it, though. So essentially, it would just be up to a dice roll if
Yeah.
it would be successful.
Okay, I think he'll hold on to that axe for now.
Okay.
Well.
And with that, you get to work doing that. Thordane, so you went shopping as well. What is there anything particular that you're looking for as far as your character? Anything that you would like to see or just like take a look at? Yes, no, maybe. Thordane, are you with us?
Yep, sorry, forgot my mic was muted.
Yeah, no worries.
Yeah, I feel like Thordane, although he's very uncomfortable in a public setting like this, it needs to replenish his arrows, probably.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, there is one place that looks to be like a decent like woodworking area that you can go ahead and take a look at. As you enter kind of like this, so it's one of the like stalls. So there's a stall that's attached to the storefront, and as you go through the stall, you can see all kinds of stuff from carpentry, like objects from like tables and benches, all the way once you enter inside the building through the stall, you see that there are more like arrows and like things like that to be able to sell. A woman, a female elf, approaches you and she says, "Oh, aren't you a sight for sore eyes? I've not seen an elf from the woodland realm here in quite some time. Tell me, what can I do for you?"
He'll sort of just take a moment to, think about what she said, and then he'll be like, one word, just arrows.
Ah, arrows indeed. Ah, well, I see that you have a nice, very beautifully crafted bow on your back, and I would assume that a ranger, and she kind of looks to you, like, questioningly, like yourself, needs high-quality arrows. None of that run-of-the-mill stuff that, merchants and travelers have sold me. You want stuff that's made by my hand, is that correct?
He'll nod slowly.
Man, a few words, but hopefully a man of good taste. And she says, come, come. And she makes your way over to the counter. On the back wall, you can see that there are quivers, and each of these quivers have a different label on them about the different kinds of arrows. And so she has one that are just like basic arrows, essentially, is like what the equivalent of that would be. These are arrows that she has crafted herself, but they don't have any intrinsically different values to them. The next one are actually elven arrows, and so she explains, these arrows that I have created, they have been made with Helgentace fletching. And she kind of puts her, like, takes one out and, like, shows it to you. And she kind of, like, pokes the tip. And she says, these are honed from steel. And they have well, let's just say they have gives you a little bit of a better chance of hitting your mark. But if that's not up your alley, and she puts that back, she moves over to another quiver that's hanging on the wall, and she pulls out another arrow. She says, do be careful with this. Make sure you wash your hands nice and finely after you have touched these. And she lays it on the counter, and she says, these are tipped with a an oil that allows them to stay lit for some time. Do be careful. If they are exposed to high temperatures, they will alight. Yes, they are wood. Most things will do so, but definitely be careful if you're using these. These, once lit, they will cause all kinds of damage to whatever you are shooting at. Don't shoot them in the woods. We don't like wildfires here. And she takes it and she puts it back. And then the last one that she goes and she takes, she brings over to you and she sets down. This one looks rather odd, as the arrow tip has almost kind of like this like serrated edge to it, and the shaft. And there's only a few of these arrows, probably 3 in this quiver. And the arrow itself kind of has like this like zigzag pattern, and it kind of has like typical fletching of this. And she says, this is something special. I did not craft this, but this did come from a crafter from the Woodland Realm, from Vrasukal. And she says, perhaps you're familiar. I'm going to have you make a knowledge skill check for me.
Okay, knowledge skill check. Oh, nat 16.
Nat 16. This is without a doubt a dragon slaying arrow.
Okay.
And it does look to be everything that she tells based off of the look and quality of it. This looks to be made from Vrasukal, one of the main and most basically notable arrow crafters in all of Everlast, essentially. These arrows, in fact, were actually crafted during the Dragon Wars that happened at the end of the Second Age, and were used to great effect to bringing down many of the dragon spawn that came from the armies of Belial. So, yeah, this is something that is quite rare to find and quite rare to see.
He's gonna examine them for a while and then just ask what price.
Well, if you want to go with our basic arrow set, I can sell 5 of them for 1 EC. I do find that's a fair price. And she goes to the elven arrows and she says, probably 1 per EC. These are difficult to make, but I think they will find great use if you are using it to increase your marksmanship. And she goes over to the fire arrows and she says, one of these would be 1 EC as well. Not particularly difficult to make, but again, dangerous to carry. So make sure you're careful while you're carrying these in your quiver. You don't want to catch fire per se. And then she looks at the dragon arrow and she says, one of these. Very few have been able to purchase these. They are dragon slaying arrows, and if you did not know, and well, we don't come across too many dragons these days, so I've had these for 60 years, something like that. But I could let this go for, they've been on the shelf for some time, perhaps 10 EC per arrow.
Okay, Thordain has a lot of money. All right, Just looking at the money. Wow. Okay. Yeah. So he's definitely going to go. I think. Hang on, let me look at the inventory. He
So
wants
Elven,
to.
Elven arrows, she has 12 of these. The fire arrows, essentially, that she has 20 of these, and then she has 4 of these dragon slaying arrows. She's got an unlimited supply of basic arrows if you want.
Okay. Okay. I've just been looking also at my bow. Its durability is only 8 left out of 30. Would
Yeah,
she
so
also be able
that's a
to
that's a
repair
little bit
bow?
different now too. So as I mentioned before, the durability, the way that's calculated, it's a bamboo bow, so it's a rare bow. So it has just a total now. You can update this if you want. It has a total now of 7 durability. The only way you lose durability is by rolling a natural 1 on your hit rolls. And so with that being the case, I would say that you probably have about 2 durability left out of the 7 based off of that.
Okay, would she be able to repair a bow, or is that not in her wheelhouse?
I absolutely would be able to repair this. And she looks at it and she examines, what a fine piece of craftsmanship. And she kind of like strokes kind of the bamboo surface, kind of its knotted texture, and she says, this looks like it came from Glyven territory of some kind. And she turns it over and she says, yes, some of these cracks I can sand right out. They don't seem to be running too deep. I can restring it and everything for you. If you want me to be able to repair this outright, that should not take me too long at all. I have the materials that I need. Take me about... Give me 4 hours to be able to do it, and that would run you 8 EC.
Okay. So Thordain's going to go over to the arrows again and look at them, and he's going to want... Hang on, let me just count this. Okay, he's probably going to want about at least, as long as this doesn't affect his carry weight, probably about 20 basic arrows.
Okay.
And he's going to want to buy... He's going on a bit of a shopping spree. Some of the elven arrows as well.
Okay, how many elven arrows would you like?
Just thinking about carry weight and how much carry I've actually got.
They're not very heavy arrows
not
just
very
in
heavy.
general.
All right, so he'd
Should
probably
be
take.
okay.
Yeah, he'd probably take about 20 of those as well.
So she only has 12 elven
Oh,
arrows.
that's right, 12. Yeah, so he'll take whatever she's got of those then.
Okay, perfect. She has
How
20
many flame arrows does she have?
20.
Okay, yep. He'll take 18 of those because he's already got 2.
Okay.
And he'll take the 4 of the dragon slaying arrows as well.
All right, so the total for that is going to be, if I've calculated correctly, including fixing the bow, 82 EC.
Excellent.
It's wonderful doing business with you. If you want to return first thing tomorrow, I'll work on this into the night, and it should be ready for your bow. Should be ready for you to pick up. But you can take these arrows, and she goes ahead and she takes them out of the quivers on the wall, and she hands them all over to you. Again, do be careful with those flame arrows. Keep them away from any kind of heat.
He'll just thank you, and then bow slightly awkwardly because he doesn't really know if he's doing the right thing, and then leave.
Perfect. And as you do so, you have like basically, I just picture like this entire like armful of like arrows, just like leaving out the door. And we're gonna go ahead and jump on over to first. Welcome, Cole. Welcome. Why don't you go ahead and introduce Luxalia for us?
Hello, everyone. I play Luxalia, the roughest, gruffest, manliest man in the West. Just kidding. Luxalia, the Glyven of the Silverwood, and this very holy lady. That's it. She heals people. Amen.
That's great. That's great. a lady of a few words. No, that's great. We're gonna go ahead and move over to both Yuki and Misalia, who the two of you have made your way over to the. Where did you?
But first,
Going to school.
Yuki was gonna go and try to invite Mila to come with us
To where?
to the school.
Yes.
To the yeah.
Okay.
Remind me who Mila is. Is she
She's
on
the
our
princess.
ship?
Yeah.
She's the princess.
Oh my gosh, yeah. My best friend. How could I forget?
Wow.
What's the
that's a
name of the
shallow
other one?
relationship.
Princess Irea?
Yeah.
Nah,
Yeah.
Princess Irea is my BFF, not Mila. We're getting there.
So I guess first and foremost, Yuki wants to go with Luxalia to see if Princess Mila is available.
First and foremost, with King Farron's approval, you are free to be able to walk about the palace as you will. As Zil, Thordain, and Belbin make their way into town in order to just generally speaking, examine the markets. But as they leave, Luxalia and Yuki, you are actually guided up a staircase to a bunch of living quarters. Some of these rooms seem empty as you walk past them, but there is one at the very far end of the hallway that has this lavish double doors. And essentially the not guard, but like maid that leads you to this room. She knocks on the door and says, "Princess Mila, I know you've just returned, but it looks like you have a couple individuals that would like to speak with you. What are your names again?"
Oh,
I am
well,
Luxalia.
yes, and she's a lovely Glyven. I am Mistletoe of the Rapinian Peaks of Flamungolith. We are acquaintances of Princess Mila.
Luxalia and Mistletoe Yuki. They are here to see you. Are you free? And she peeks her head into the doorway to see, and she says, "Oh, she's still up." And then you hear a small voice come from inside. "Yes, please let them in." And the door opens, and you're greeted with this amazingly put together room. It's probably it's large for rooms that you have seen. You can see that it has almost this kind of curtain bed that it has, and it's like very it's much larger. It's like a California king than what probably Princess Mila would need or want. And it has two windows on either side of the bed that open out into a balcony that overlooks the sea kind of on the north side of Fashion Fae. And you can see that she has begun to change into like her nightgown as she looks and says, "Yes, please do come in."
Pardon our rudeness. We just want to stop by. We were about to go out on the town and was wondering if you wanted to join us. I see that you're already preparing for bed.
I was planning to have a night in, but what did you have in mind?
Oh, well, we were just the boys went off to the market. However, we were going to head over to the school itself and check that out.
The school? Whatever would you want to go there for?
We hear the Fashion Fae have a wonderful proclivity towards science and and we just wanted to get a little bit of a tour. We don't really know where we're going about town, but if you're too busy and you want to stay in, that's totally fine.
No. Give me 20 minutes. And she calls over to her maid. Could you help me get changed? And the maid, as you are talking, she goes over and she starts pulling the curtains on like the balcony area, and she says, "I'll be out there in 20 minutes. If you want to go meet me, there's a sitting room just to the left of the main entrance of the palace. I will meet you in there momentarily."
We will meet the old man by the waterfall.
No, there's no old man or waterfall here, but
Oh.
there's a nice cushy sofa. If you want tea or anything while you wait,
Oh,
We could
would
provide.
love some tea.
Yes, we actually have, and she looks to you and she smiles. Silver leaf tea. Have you had it?
Yes. Yes, I have.
Would that be okay?
Yes. It would.
Wonderful. I'll meet you down there momentarily.
Yes, they're walking. Yuki's gonna get kind of close to Luxalia and just kind of bend over and just like, okay, Luxalia, we're on a mission for 2 things today.
Tea?
3 things.
Okay.
Number 1, tea. Number 2,
Yes.
for you to become BFFs with Princess Mila.
Mila? Okay.
And
Then I'd
number
have
3.
2 princess BFFs.
It's true. That's true. That's the goal. And 3, to try to convince her to come with us to Folden Rock.
Ah. Is it her decision? I thought it was her dad's decision.
Well, she's got some sway. She is the princess after all.
Yes, I suppose that's right.
Starting a family rebellion.
No, we just got to put the idea into her mind. And the best way to do that is by becoming her friends first.
Of course. What
We're
is
not just the
appealing
saviors,
about
we're her
Folden Rock?
She could become a princess there.
I thought she was already one.
She is a princess. She is a princess. But how to say, to get the allure of a princess, get the formality of a princess. Didn't you hear what her father was telling her about how she's not ready to be the heir to the throne? Maybe some
Yes.
practical experience.
Seems
help her.
like weeks ago, but I do recall.
Yes. So,
A needle pulling thread.
first. Yes. First, tea. Second,
Friends.
become friends. Third,
Rebellion.
yeah, I guess that's one way to put it, but yes.
Oh, okay. Sounds good.
All right.
So
All right, so
typical
are we on the same
ladies'
page?
night.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
The rebellion. With that, after you've finished your conversation, you hear a, excuse me, sorry for being a little bit late, but hopefully you enjoyed your tea.
Wow, 20 minutes goes by real fast.
Oh, good. I'm glad you thought so.
Well, are you ready? What's she wearing? Does she look like she's going out for ladies' night?
Now she's just wearing kind of like a traditional kind of like kimono kind of like thing. It's not quite as elegant as what you had seen
Okay.
previously. It's like a little bit more of a it looks royal compared to what you've seen the other fashion fails, and that's saying something. So it's very elegant still, but it's not quite as gaudy as the other one.
Does she need like some sort of a hood or something to hide her face? Because she's probably a celebrity in these parts.
I thought we were going
Not
out
probably, she is.
to see the town. Do you not want
Oh, we are.
people to know that we're together?
Oh no,
Oh,
I just didn't
I
want you to
want
get
them
mobbed.
to know, but I'm very weak, and I can only do so well at holding the hordes back of your adoring fans.
Make a charm skill check.
Oh boy, my charm is... Oh, that was a decent roll though. Let's see. What is my charm?
I feel like it's pretty good.
It's a +2.
Yeah, it's pretty
That's
good.
not bad.
Yeah. 14.
14. She looks to you and she kind of blushes and she says, I don't know if they adore me, but I think they'll leave us be. They understand that I have my own business. Privacy should be not a problem, I don't think.
Wonderful.
I'll tell you, Luxalia, not only is she good, well, kind of good at holding back hordes, but she knows so much. She knows so many princesses, and, you know, she could learn a thing or two from you. Right, Luxalia?
Are you trying to become
Yes.
a princess? Do you have royalty in your lineage?
Nope. I sure don't. But,
Some say that being a princess is a
Royalty.
lifestyle, not necessarily something you're born into.
yeah,
Luxali likes the
Yeah.
finer things. She does.
I do like royal tea.
How did you enjoy your tea?
Quite delicious.
Would you like to finish it to go? We can pack it up for you.
Oh,
Do you have any like
yes.
maybe yay high thermos looking things with big old handles on them and
It's a lot of tea.
Oh,
It's-
and
you
maybe
know, it's
like the
ma-
bottom's a
it's
little
called
smaller to fit in the cup holder.
cup holder exactly, and maybe it was.
Yeah.
Oh,
Did
man,
you
what was his
did you
name?
plan on
Lord
taking a chariot
Stanley.
into town?
Oh,
Ah, yes. Oh, and we could have all of your best friends sign it to commemorate the night.
yeah,
That we would have to go
That's us.
room to room here.
that's us. No, that's us. That's
Oh.
us. Don't worry.
Oh,
Do you
you're
not have friends outside the castle?
I do, of course, but she looks at the time and she's like, they should be going home for the night unless you want to go door to door. I think that I would
Right.
surprise them by a surprise visit from the princess. Don't you think?
Yeah, let's not do that. Let's just go to the school. Right? Yuki?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
the
Yes.
Astral Archives, absolutely.
Yes.
We would
And-
love to learn more about your people and the students and everything.
Indeed. And that you will do so. There's plenty to be able to look at. It will very much bring me back to the days of my youth. As you begin
Wait.
to depart.
You're still young. You're in the days of your youth.
Relatively speaking. Typically, the children go to school all the way up and through their about 40s. And by the time that they're my age, which, as we had mentioned before, she's already like in her 50s, I've been out of school about 10 years.
Oh, yes.
How long
You're
do
just
elves live again
glowing.
in Everlast?
Around like 750 years.
Oh, she's a baby.
Oh boy.
Yeah,
Oh my god.
Her dad's on death's door.
yeah, he's pretty old. He had a midlife
Well.
crisis. That's why he decided to have a daughter. I guess an end of life crisis.
It's like 70. Wow.
Wow. So, Princess Mila, how do you usually go about outside the castle? Are you a woman of the people, or is it covert when you're out and about? How do the Fashion Fae elves do it?
I'd like to think that people were happy when they see me. Hopefully that doesn't prove to be difficult. But I think we can just stroll about, don't you think?
I agree,
Yes.
but
We don't plan on
I'm
getting
just-
into any nefarious activity, do we?
no. that
No,
is true.
we signed that document. And we wouldn't anyway, but
The boys are gone. Maybe. Oh boy. Now that you mention it, Luxalia. Oh, I hope Belbin's doing okay. But
if
when
not,
we were in
oh well.
when we were in Helix, we met Princess Irea over there, and her father was so uppity about her being out, and she had so much responsibility. Of course, very noble and very regal she was. However, it definitely seemed like she was being put under lock and key a lot of the time. So I wasn't sure if it was the same going on here in Fashion Fae.
No, Fashion Fae's plenty safe. I think my father would be very okay, especially being with the two of you, two of those that were strong enough to be able to save me, don't you think?
Well, it's the power of friendship, I'd like to say, right, Luxalia?
Yes.
Oh, you already consider us friends. That's so sweet.
Yes. Well, you don't risk your life for the hoi polloi, do you?
I don't know what that word means, but shall
It
we?
means not friends.
Well, good. I'm glad that we are on the road to friendship.
Yes.
We're off. To the distance. Okay.
You leave out
Well-
the main basically castle doors as you go down kind of the big walkway to the Astral Archives. After some walking, you do notice that there is a beautiful sunset. You see the same thing that all of the guys saw as you make your way down to the archives. You make your way out in front, and it's this large kind of almost tower-looking building, and it's definitely like as far as like radius, it is very wide on either side, and pretty much like a big circle, kind of like a tower. But you arrive to the doors, and they are still open, and so they're open to the public. But she begins to walk up the kind of the marble steps, and she says, "Oh, this brings me back. It's been quite a while." And you make your way inside, and immediately the noise from the outside seems to kind of like dim as soon as you get in. You are very much in a studious atmosphere. You see many tables where you can see young elves doing their work and studying. And there is a man kind of on the far right behind the counter who looks up, and he smiles as he closes his book, and he says, Welcome to the Astral Archives, Princess. Seems you have brought some guests." And he's kind of like whispering, but even from the distance, like his voice carries very calmly and quietly into your ears.
The pleasure is mine, Yuki pipes up. And he turns to she turns to Princess Mila and says, "So what kind of things do young elves here in Feshin Fey learn when they're going through their schooling? Is it works about mana, history? What kind of things?"
A little bit of
Rhetoric.
everything. Well, first and foremost, we have all kinds of subjects that we learn, all the way from mathematics to history to languages. Many elves, by the time they at least reach my age, we know 3 or 4 languages at that point. Very well versed in Elvish, and of course we have to be able to speak Everspeech as well, and usually 1 or 2 other languages of choice. We also study the history of not only our people, but those of many of the surrounding cultures, particularly Elven culture, but also the events of the Second Age, First Age, and we also study religion. It's very important for us to be able to know, especially in our upbringing, where we came from and who we are. That's where we find our identity very much rooted in. And we take that study very seriously. And actually, and she pulls in close, if you didn't know, the Feshin Fey elves are quite the astronomers. We at the very top, and you look up and you just see that it's basically like this spiral like staircase that goes all the way to the top and stops, and there's like different floors with like bookshelves and everything. She says at the very top there's actually an observatory, and well, Master Valerian, he's taking quite good care of it, but we've had this for about 1,000 years. The ability to be able to gaze into the night sky and see many of the stars and planets above. This is one of the primary places that, we track star movement. We've learned all so much. Particularly the elves of Hightower are quite interested in it, and we see many emissaries from there trying to find out some of our secrets, which, of course, once we get to understand and know more about what's happening above, we would be able to divulge to them. It's not secrets that we're necessarily keeping, but we want to make sure that we have, as you had mentioned, good science.
Ah, yes. Science. That's good.
Is there anything in particular that you would like to look at?
Well, Yuki bends down to Luxalia, and she's like, "Why did we come here again?"
I don't know. You dragged me along. Tea? Rebellion?
Tea? Yeah.
Friendship.
Friendship and rebellion.
Rebellion.
Yeah. No guess. Yeah. You're right. Yuki straightens up a bit, and it just says, "Well, I wanted to see the young minds at work. Are there any of your the pupils here?" More speaking towards the man who's in charge of them, who could give us a little bit of a tour or a rundown of this place?
Well, it looks like you already have somebody who is one of the brightest students that I've ever had that could be able to do so. If you're up to the task, Princess. Princess Mila, she looks up and she smiles and she nods.
I wish I could have thought of something that witty. Yes, well, we'd be more than happy to look. I'm in fact very, very curious about the astrology aspect of it as well. I mean, I'm from Flamongolith, way up north in the Ruffinian Peaks, and yes, it's the same sky, but it looks so much different at nighttime here than it does up there in the far reaches of the north.
Valerian cuts you off. He says, "It's an easy mistake to have, but I will say we do not practice witchcraft here, void and magic. Understand?"
Oh yeah. Oh, what do you mean? Yuki's confused.
We practice astronomy, not astrology.
Oh. Well, that is just my uneducated mind. See, maybe I should take some class here. Ha ha ha.
He chuckles. It's an easy mistake to make. One that we and he looks over to his kids, and there's some kids at the table over to the side that are just snickering, like
just laughing.
He gives them an eye, and they nose back in their books, doing their thing.
Yes, well, either way, I think it's something interesting to learn, because again, it's part of our world, but it's nothing we can ever really reach.
Enjoy.
You know?
If you want to make your way all the way up to the top, hopefully you have your cardio. Well, at least you're pretty good with cardio. It is a few steps to the very top.
Or, with your permission, I could just fly up there.
Please keep your wings closed.
Okay. That's why I asked. Okay. Well, up the stairs we go, right, Princess Mila? Onward.
Different shoes. No worries. As she has her kind of like sandals. You begin to slowly make your way up to the stairs. And it's interesting because it's circular, so it kind of goes like half circle around. You have to walk to the other side, half circle, walk to the other side, half circle, walk to the other side. And you begin to pass all of the different like subject matters as you make your way over to the top. The very top is the sciences. And then you're able to walk up onto the top of the building, and absolutely, you are in the tallest building in all of Feshen Fey. You're right at the heart of the city, and you can see that nighttime has fallen at this point. And there are candle lights in the streets, but the most impressive thing is as you see below into the bay, these are kind of like red candle lights begin to descend into almost like blue candle lights, and you can see the very top of the sea pillar down at the base of the bay of Feshen Fey. They seem to almost reflect the stillness of the water, the stars up above, and you can see just in front of you this enormous metallic contraption. It's huge, enormous, and it just sits here at the very top of the observatory. And she says, Princess Mila, she says, apparently in years before the invention of this, we used to sit at this place. The only place that is taller that I know of is High Tower, the central tower of High Tower, but we used to do what we could with our own eyesight to be able to get as close to the heavens as we possibly could, staring at the beautiful starlight up above. But this, we call it a telescope. Being able to look into the night sky and to be able to see things up close truly is like magic.
What does it tell you about?
Why don't you see for yourself? And she looks in and begins to adjust as she fixates on one star in particular, as she is turning all these knobs to try to get it to focus on one star in particular. And she bids you one at a time over. Who wants to go first?
You got it.
Got it. I'll do it.
You got it.
All right, so Luxalia, you make your way over, and as you take one last look up at the sky, and you see that it's quite clear. There are many, many stars in the sky, and maybe a little skeptical at first, you peer into the telescope, and immediately you see up close this ball of flame that is just in the sky, and you can see it almost pulsating, like radiating, as if like rays. You never pictured that a star could look quite so terrifying yet beautiful.
Wow.
I'm gonna have
You should really look at this.
I'm gonna have you make a faith survival check for me.
Oh, get it.
I'm pretty faithful. Where's faith? Is that just the main stat?
Yeah. So
Okay.
faith survival check
Yeah,
is just
yeah.
the main modifier.
Unnatural 20.
Okay.
Oh my god.
You step away, Yuki. You have your turn at the telescope, and you look and you see very much the same thing. This fiery ball of just you have no idea, just this fiery ball floating off in the distance. You pull your head away, you look up at the stars, and you look back in, and you look up at the stars, asking which one exactly is it. And Princess Mila, she's doing what she can to like point it out, but she's just pointing to a blanket of stars. And you pull away. I'm gonna have you make a faith survival check for me too.
Also, is there anything library / why? Because it's kind of a library, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything similar in Silverwood?
Yes, kind of. You where in Silverwood though, the many of them are manuscripts and scrolls. They're not quite bound books. But yeah, you have something similar. It's not quite to this degree though. But the vast majority of the stuff in Silverwood are actually like ancient historical texts of Nerun, which is the continent to the south, and kind of like your history. You haven't in Silverwood, you haven't collected a whole lot of information about the other races quite yet, as you don't get a ton of visitors there.
Sure.
So,
Okay.
That was a 10, by the way,
10.
for Yuki.
As the two of you pull away, you are both very reaffirmed in your faith and the mystery of the world. The world has now become a whole lot larger to you as you look up into the sky, and this is very clear signs of Alamnia's providence and his grand design. You both gain a blessing.
Oh,
Let's go, Buffs.
let's go. Yuki wants to remark on it too, and she pulls away, and again is squinting where Princess Mila is like pointing up into the sky, really not really seeing where it is, because to Yuki again it's just a tapestry of small dots here and there, right? And she says, "Wow, that's incredible. How did such a thing ever be invented? Who would have thought that deep at the core of it, something so grandiose and beautiful was there? I mean, terrifying to a certain extent, but absolutely beautiful. I remember when my parents growing up in the far north reaches of Flamongolith at the Refinian Peaks, they used to always say that each of those stars in the sky were like people here in the world of Everlast. And to me, I would always look at them and say, well, I mean, every person's unique, and every person doesn't look the same quite like that. And my parents would always say to me, well, even if they look the same, maybe they are unique. And now I finally truly understand that. Can I see another one?" And she wants to look at another one.
Yeah, and during this time, as you begin chatting, she continues to readjust as you look at different ones. Some of them are kind of more of like a brighter white color. Some of them tend to be kind of like a darker, like orangish color. You look at the moon at some point, and you're able to see kind of like the little craters and stuff that are on it and whatnot. And your minds are just absolutely blown as this entire world has just become open up to you. You feel very small, but again, you feel very rest assured as she begins to show you these for the rest of the night. Is there anything else that you guys want to discuss before we conclude this portion?
Yeah. Also, just a note, kind of throughout the night, Luxalia has kind of retreated into herself, and seems contemplative, just in general.
Okay. Good to
So,
know.
and not as her usual talkative self.
Okay.
And Yuki wants to bring up, especially towards the end of the night after seeing such things, and says, well, the master of this wonderful, what do we call this place again?
Oh, it's the
The
Astral
observatory? Archives? He called you a star and a jewel. Do you see that in yourself?
Well, I am. I did well here when I was growing up. I got top marks in my class. I made plenty of friends. I had a good childhood. Do I see that in myself? What I see is a girl who has been blessed with plenty of opportunity and plenty of chance to be able to grow. I've always, of course, wanted to see the world. I've been able to see lots of things, but experience things is something that's been different. And I knew that the more that I learned, the more that I spent time here, the more that I knew that one day I would be able to see these things that I've learned so much about. And I just look forward to a life spent not only with my people, but a life spent full of experience.
Well, I can honestly say that I've had pretty much exactly the opposite upbringing. I didn't have a lot aside from my family being that of musicians and music makers, or instrument makers. I didn't get a classical education. I mean, don't get me wrong, I went to school in Flamongolith, but it was nothing fancy. And in fact, a lot of my free time was taken into working on a specific craft itself. But I feel like I've learned a lot in my time these last few years traveling the lands of Everlast with Luxalia and Thordane and Zill and Belbin. And yes, they're a ragtag bunch, but I can honestly say I found a family, and someone that I can call family. I feel like a lot of, I mean, maybe you feel similarly, but a lot of importance and a lot rides on our shoulders, as I'm sure they ride on your shoulders as well. And I don't know, if it wasn't for the fact that we met people like you, or as I had previously mentioned, Princess Irea, or all the wonderful people here, they have such encouragement for us. But at the same time, I can't help but feel like I'm just a normal Draken who's just found myself far away from Flamongolith itself. I can't speak for any of my party mates, but it just feels like, especially looking up the night sky, I do feel very insignificant. It feels like a lot rides on the shoulders of lots of different people. I've really only thought about my own plight and things, but reflecting on you too, you have a lot at stake as well.
I do, and I understand that my position requires me to be able to think of many more people than, the typical citizen has to deal with day to day. But I'm sure it's the same for an adventurer. I mean, you go out and explore the world and fight evil, and you come to know and meet lots of people, and I'm sure that makes it difficult when it comes to deciding what tasks to do, who to protect, and that's kind of the same thing that I deal with as a royal, is I know that there's so many people that count on me, and I have so many things to protect, but I also have to think of other nations, other people, and how Fashion Fae is going to, well, aid those who are our allies. We are very much the same, I feel, in this growing world of connectivity, and just trying to do what's right.
Yeah.
I don't feel insignificant, but there are definitely times that I feel unprepared.
And if I've learned one thing in those moments, it's to rely on those around you. Because, I mean, if you don't have a specific strength or you feel like you're unable to perform any specific action, by relying on those who are skilled at doing so and making friends and allies with those who can perform such things, I found to be incredibly beneficial for everyone. And again, I do consider myself to be, how to say, down to earth. However, I also know nothing about politics of foreign lands or the regalness and how to act. I just wish Luxalia, Zil, Belbin, and Thordain and I, soon we're going to be leaving Fashion Fae, and we're going to be moving to a new land, Folden Rock, a place I know nothing about, and the rest of us know nothing about, looking for some lord no one's seen in quite some time, and I can't help but feel like it seems like an impossible task ahead of us. I don't know. Moving forward, I know we've gotten a lot of help from your father. I don't know. I just feel a lot more comfortable if I knew how to deal with the people of Folden Rock ahead of time instead of just banging our heads against a wall trying to find something that we have no idea where it is.
Well, what have you done up to this point? Clearly, you've been many places in the world, and I'm sure you've been to places that you've never been. Is that what you've been doing? Banging your heads into walls until...
Well, as I said,
Mostly
we've been
Belbin.
fortunate... Yeah, mostly Belbin. That's right. That is right, looks like. But no, we've been fortunate enough to make allies along the way. And, for example, when we left the continent back in Port Grangium, we met a wonderful seafarer who showed us the way to Aishan Island. And in Aishan Island, we had the right people pointing us in the right direction. But I feel like things have just gone silent. We know we need to go to Folden Rock, but aside from that, we have no clues. We have no idea where this is going. The last reports of Aldrig Monteblair, the man who we're looking for, is that he was there, but that doesn't mean that he's still there. I don't know. Do you know anything about Folden Rock or the peoples of Folden Rock? Where we can go? I don't know. Look.
How does one even fold a rock?
That's what I'm saying.
She chuckles and she says, I can't say that I've ever been to Folden Rock. I know it's a close trade partner. They are pretty close with us elves of Fashion Fae. We don't use them primarily for just a means of trade and commerce, but they are close alliances. There's a family that owns the island, as it were. They're the Harrogate family. There's a lord there, a merchant lord by the name of Edmund Harrogate. And he's reasonable. He does what he can to be able to lead the people of Folden Rock to make sure that they're safe. I do know that there is a prison that resides there as well, where they keep many criminals. And they have very high security at Folden Rock, as it is a commerce, a epicenter for commerce and trade here in the Inland Strait. Other than that, I don't know, but I know that Edmund Harrogate, he has close friends, and, well, the ability to be able to, how do you say it? The ability to mobilize, have influence over others that reside within the town. he might be somebody that would be good to check into if you're looking for any leads. Is from what I am aware of, he and Aldreg Monteblair were pretty close compatriots back in the day.
That's some really good information. At the very least, we have something to go on. And here you
This whole
go.
adventure would be way easier if you just came with us.
I'll tell ya, put it simple. Luxalia, I have to agree with you. I mean, obviously we have our strengths. We got the brawn. But, I don't know. If only it was that simple, right?
Make an
Yeah.
influence skill check with me. It can be with hope.
What kind?
Influence.
Okay. Who? Luxalia or Yuki?
Definitely Yuki. You did the monologue. I just said a thing.
Oh. All right.
I'll give you the hope. I was the one helping you, you know?
Oh, thank you for the hope. Nat 16 plus 3. 19.
Nice.
She looks to you and she smiles and then looks back up at the stars and she says, "Wouldn't it be nice, but well, after all that I put my father through, I doubt I will be able to leave these walls anytime soon."
Well, maybe if it's something to talk about. I know you're young still in years, however, I think you have a lot to offer this world. And that's what
We
she'll
could use a star pupil to guide us. Wow.
Our guiding star. Do we find her? Perchance?
Make a charm skill check for me.
Oh, get it, Luxalia. That's you.
Yeah,
that's
it's
all
a
you.
All right. All right. Just normal.
Yeah, just normal.
You got hope if you need to use it.
That's true. 16 unnatural.
Who needs to use it?
She looks out. She looks to you and then looks out on the bay and says, "Guiding star indeed, huh?"
Because you're a shining star, no matter who you are.
The-
Shine bright to
The
see
hand harp comes out.
what you could truly be. Truly be.
Stuff for you to see what your life
your life
truly be.
And with that, the evening comes to a close. The rest of you do all meet up back at where was it? The inn. What was the inn called?
Can Belbin get his gloves?
Yeah. You go,
Or-
you pick up your gloves, and they are very much ready for you. As you actually put them back on and be able to wrap them back around, they feel snug, they feel warm, and they're still dirty. But they don't feel like they're going to be coming off anytime soon.
Did they kept their same stench?
They smell a little bit better, but they're still just as dirty as when you brought them in. If anything, it smells kind of more like just like the air of like this place. Kind of a little bit of sage and patchouli.
Oh. Is that what
Belvin's
that space
favorite.
smells like? Sage and patchouli?
No, the specific store that was being
Oh.
prepared in.
I like that.
Yeah, Belbin, you smell the sage in one nostril, the patchouli in the other. It's
Hmm.
nice.
It's the makings of a good night then.
Okay, but the group of you do reconvene at Melindra's Haven, and while you are there, you see that one member of your crew is down in the lobby, and it is Bree. As she storms up to you, she has Martha on her hip, and she grabs Belbin by the collar and brings him close, like directly looking at the face. "Where have you all been? Do you have any idea how difficult it is?" And she lets you go. She looks to Thordane and like directly in the eyes, like on her tiptoes. "You have no idea how difficult it's been keeping all of these people. You're the captain," and she points to Thordane, "and all of you. Do you have any idea how difficult it is crawling up into the crow's nest and trying to peel Barnacle Bill off of the... I am sick to death of this. I am done babysitting. Now that you are here, they are your responsibility. I'm going to bed. And she storms off and goes upstairs.
Does she know what we pay her for?
She doesn't seem to give a crap.
Oh.
I'm paid to look after supplies, not people.
What is that? What's everyone else been doing? What about? I forget their names. What about the arsenal guy, and our lookout?
You have like a ship thing in your character sheet.
Yeah.
You're thinking.
Oh yeah,
Finn,
we do.
Finn,
What about
Balthazar,
Finn? Hold himself up.
Tully.
Or Balthazar, or Tully, or Remy, or Riona, or Lyra.
You hear a door slam in the distance.
Bree. Oh, you are
Good
Bree.
night.
Or Sariel. Sariel's the lookout. Why isn't she the one looking out for everyone?
Well, she's kind of like Thordane, quiet and observant.
Yeah.
And observant.
Oh man, have we been paying these people this whole time?
Well, we've only been gone for a day, Luxalia. Chill.
Oh, okay. Good.
I think she's just had a bad time getting attacked by the terror of the sea. And, I mean, Barnacle Bill's enough to drive anyone crazy.
Well, we're not exactly the safest bunch to work for.
Safety
By the way-
begins with me.
I can't remember. Did we bury all the people who died on our ship on that one island?
You
Yeah,
sent
yeah,
them
we
in
did.
boats out to sea.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Water burial.
I played, what's it called?
Dust in the wind.
Should we try to get some more people to ride on the ship? See if we can.
Yeah, get some extra dinero.
Does anyone need some transport?
Hey,
A record
at least
currently
the
is
sea
0-1.
elves could abandon ship and have a chance.
But just as a warning, this is a legal disclaimer. Our record is 0-1 so far.
We have lost
never-
100% of passengers.
However,
Do we have to tell them that?
No.
we want
I think-
some good reviews, don't we?
Yeah. Well,
Hey,
we
at least
gotta
you
build
didn't-
up
at least
our
you didn't get
rapport
any negative
somehow.
reviews.
We gotta just paint it in the right light. 0 negative reviews.
Oh no.
You're a positive as
You
well.
walk over to the bulletin board and you see something that says Yelp. Fisherman travel reviews.
Yes.
Are we on there?
You are not on there.
Hey,
Okay.
Can we put it on for ourselves?
we have escaped the terror of the sea himself.
No one else.
Zill just takes out a piece of paper and starts writing in his best second grade handwriting he can muster. Penmanship. Oh, hold on. What's the name of our ship? Alomnia's Breath,
Oh yes.
with the company of the illustrious Eklos Eos. You will meet the most interesting creatures of the sea. With much entertainment from the Teapot of Madness himself.
Does anyone have better handwriting?
Right on our boat. We'd love to have you. 10 out of 5.
Spots are limited,
Ah,
filling up fast.
yeah.
Newly renovated.
True.
Math is
Yeah.
also not his strong suit, so 10 out of 5. 10 out of 5.
Brilliant.
Like, I don't know. Maybe that's a captain's job thing. Yuki turns to Thordane.
Thordane's just standing in the background, kind of away from everyone, looking at his
Oh.
new bow. His repaired bow, not really paying attention to what any of you are doing.
Well, you know, as it is.
He probably has the best handwriting out of us all, though.
It's what I'm saying. It's a I'm saying. Well,
And as you depart from the bulletin board, you see a kind of like an esteemed looking person make their way over as they check the bulletin board for any new information. They look at you and they kind of give you like a side eye as they look at and begin to check everything. So, are you new in town?
Yes. Although we're close friends with the king.
King Farrand?
Yes.
Oh, it looks like there's new Yelp review. Let's see. And he goes in and he squints his eyes and says, "What is this, hieroglyphics?" "Excuse me, sir." And he points over to you, Zil. "Come here."
Yes.
"Do you speak whatever language this is?"
I'm just surprised he's literate.
I just pull it out and... Yes.
"Read it to me. I'm looking for someone to, looking for a nice little cruise to go on."
Oh.
Volumnia's breath,
Round trip or one way?
daft by Eklos Eos.
Preferably round trip. But I find I want to go for a little holiday.
I don't remember exactly what I rambled off, so I'm just gonna recreate it my best as I can. Volumnia's breath, with the crew of Eklos Eos and interesting bunch, will take you to see many sights and many interesting creatures of the sea that you may have never seen before, with guaranteed entertainment by the Teapot of Madness himself. That's me. Total review 10 out of 5.
Yes.
I think it says something here that it's newly renovated. I would like to see this vessel for myself.
Yes, newly renovated. Very.
And then he looks down to you. Did you say 10 out of 5?
Yes.
Must be pretty good.
Quite. How long are you wanting to cruise?
Well, it depends. Wherever the ship takes me, I will go.
I'm going to Folden Rock. Come tomorrow.
Yes. We'll be docked there an undisclosed amount of time.
Folden Rock. I do have some business in Folden Rock that could be good. Although that kind of defeats the purpose of my holiday.
Well, we'll
Two
have
birds,
many.
one stone. What do you say?
We'll have a few, nights at sea. So that could be fun.
We have a really, really interesting crewmate named Barnacle Bill. I think you and him
Yes.
would get along quite nicely.
Is he a sea
Or-
creature?
There's this other guy named Finn.
He's pretty cool too. He's an elf.
Is he also a
Is he
sea
an elf?
creature?
No.
Ah,
No.
I see what you did there, sir. Witty indeed.
I see what you did there. No, they just really like the ocean. Yes.
Well, tell me. Clearly, you're familiar with such a vessel. How much would a round-trip ticket across the entire inland strait cost?
Well, maybe you should talk to our lead of finances, Bree. Bree, and Yuki goes over and raps on the door.
Bree!
Make an influence skill check for me.
At least.
It's a natural 1 for a 4.
Oh no.
You knock on the door, and you don't hear anything at first.
At least
Continue to
14 and a
tap
half easy a
As you
night.
knock, and all of you are back in the main lobby as you continues to knock on the door, and all of a sudden you hear a dun 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 stomping, and opening the door, you see this red with anger face of Bree as she looks to you and she says, "Didn't I tell you good night?" and she has her hand on Martha.
I'm sorry, it's a matter of finance. We hired you for that, please. Please. Have mercy on me.
Matter of finance.
It's a matter of finance.
Something wrong with the ship.
No.
We
no.
might have a passenger.
I don't know how much we charge because they all died.
Hey, don't say that out loud.
We want him to book us. We need money.
What is this regarding?
He wants to go to Folden Rock and back. He seems to be a very rich gentleman, I think. He was
I
affluent,
say at
right?
least 14.5 EC a night.
Tell him,
Unless he...
for our troubles, 20 EC a night. I'll take no less than that. We need to resupply in anyway.
By the way, are the renovations done?
Yeah.
He
They
wants
have
to
been
see the
done for a
renovations.
while. No thanks to you. Boom! Door slammed shut in your face.
You're a brave woman, Yuki.
Well, I thought it was a good idea, but then I had second guesses as soon as I heard her. Well, I guess we got our price. Does someone want to go tell the gentleman?
I'll go tell the gentleman.
Yes. Belbin, yes. Go tell the gentleman.
Oh, that was quite quick indeed. You, sir! You look as someone of importance on this vessel, and he points over to Belbin.
You, sir, are correct.
You, sir, need to change your shirt. It looks quite dirty.
You, sir, need to pay me 25 EC to board our ship.
Pocket change! I can do so. There might even be a tip in it for you if I find it quite luxurious.
Amen, brother.
When do we depart? I need some time to get my stuff ready. I need to pack my trunks.
Tomorrow
Swim
morning.
trunks.
Well, I've got to be here at least another day.
Oh, okay. 2 days.
2 days.
Ah,
Zilly,
time
are we
goes
not
on.
picking up your axe on the way back? Because this is a round trip, I think, right?
Well, they'll be ready like in a day. Dude,
We'll wait.
I don't know what we're gonna face. I don't want to leave them behind, and I want them stronger.
Wait, is the
Yeah.
dude still here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, do you need more time than tomorrow morning? Would you like 2 days from now? Dude, Mr. whatever your name is, passenger.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes. The name is Nalathir.
Nelithir.
Nalathir Tindomian.
Wow.
It's quite the name.
Thank you.
I'm not sure that was a compliment. Tomorrow morning work, or do you want the next day?
I will leave
How
whenever
long
the
does-
ship departs. I will be ready.
How
Tell
long does
me
it take you to-
first. It depends. Where all are we visiting? Is it just Folden Rock and back, or are we going to visit many of the other wild and extravagant places, many of the islands that scatter throughout the inland strait?
Only the Fate Weaver knows where we go.
Hmm.
Folden Rock is guaranteed.
Everything else is surprise and delight, you know?
I like that.
That's how our ship works.
A mystery tour, you say? Hmm.
Yeah.
Give me an extra day to prepare, and I will make sure I have everything prepared on my end.
All right, that'll cost an
Show up
extra 10 EC, sir.
He's gonna show up with sunscreen and khaki shorts pulled up to his belly
10
button.
EC.
Do you don't
You
don't think too
How
much
about-
into this?
Yes.
Do you have anything more protective?
You mean for like storms at sea? Of course I'm gonna be prepared for that.
Maybe. What would you be able to have anything to be prepared from? Say, if the storm had like rocks hurling at you.
Or knives! Or really sharp teeth!
Do you have a performer on board?
Yes, many!
Many performers.
And they
Like I
like to
said-
juggle sharp things.
If you
We
could
have-
rope off a safe area for me to watch the entertainment, I think I will be fine.
Okay.
Great, we'll put you in the bottom of the
So
ship.
that's a no, Zill. That's a no.
Like I
Oh,
told you
no.
already, like the Yelp review said, we have the
10 out of 5. I've never seen such a glorious review on any
Teapot of
vessel.
Madness himself. Have you not heard of the Teapot of Madness?
No, and the more you talk about it, the more excited I get.
I love this dude. Can we please keep him alive?
Sir, what was your name again?
Nalafir
Positivity.
Tindomian.
Nelafir Tindolian.
And if you want, we can put you in a room next to this lady, and it's always air conditioned.
What is air
Eggs.
conditioning?
Cold.
I hope you
What
make
I-
it.
Do you like your room nice and cold, or do you like to sweat in your sleep?
I feel like Thordane at this moment is going to just sort of walk up, sort of ignore everyone else, and just say to him, "We depart in 2 days' time on the morning tide.
Oh,
There will be no refunds."
he takes a look at your clothing and your outfit. You must be the captain.
I Captain.
Aye, Captain.
You, Captain.
And with that,
Ugh.
the night comes to a close. The next day, you all just relax, enjoy the sights of the city. You prepare for the departure. You talk to whoever you need to talk to, pick up whatever you need to pick up, and you find yourself on this dawn of the second day, walking down towards the docks of.
Do we get max health? Do we
Yes,
regain-
you do.
Request.
So you can recharge everything that isn't a per adventure recharge. So if it says per haven rest, you can recharge it.
Don't worry, I got some goods in case you guys need them halfway through.
3
So
questions.
let me know. I can
Yes.
do it.
Are my axes done?
They are.
Okay. Part of it says, oh, never mind. That's making a new weapon. Those are not new.
Yep.
Never mind on that. Question 2.
Okay.
Did I ever find a backpack?
Forgot about that. Roll a d16 for me.
Any modifiers?
Nope.
9.
9. What kind of backpack were you looking for?
Well, currently I have a dungeoneering backpack that holds an extra 40 pounds, so I'm looking anything bigger.
There is. I don't know if there's anything bigger. Maybe the Gloof one. I think the dungeoneering backpack is the biggest backpack.
Ah,
You can carry 2, one on your front and one on your back.
It's like military.
Well, okay, so that's fine. Are these all Draken-made Damascus axes then?
they are Draken made now at this point, so they get an additional +1 to their damage.
Wow.
In Damascus.
Amazing.
So they're +4 damage.
That is so beautiful. And what their durability would be 7?
Yeah, Damascus now they're 7.
Great.
Just
So
realized I
plus
probably
one.
should have bought some
They're
health
plus
potions as
4?
well.
Ooh,
Yeah,
yes.
oh.
I'm gonna have
What-
you. Okay, so if
wouldn't it
anyone's
be
looking for
free
anything in
Damascus?
particular, speak now, forever hold your peace. Thordane, you're looking for medicine supplies. I'm gonna have you roll just a straight d16 for me and tell me what
Okay.
your result is.
Actually, it's a good thing to double check.
11.
Wouldn't they be +3 because
Oh, Damascus are +2. That's right. And so
Yeah.
yeah, +2. Yeah, +3, not +4. Yep, you are right. With that 11, you make your way actually over to an herbalist, and you're able to find that they have a decent amount of goods for sale. Primarily healing herbs and remedies and all that kind of stuff. Although she does have basically a couple vials, so the smallest charge bottle of one of them is a simple elixir, and the other one is a Reliable healing potion. So the simple elixir, what this is it's going to cost you 30 EC to purchase if you want to do it. It's 1 charge. It immediately restores 15 hit points, 4 stamina, and 1d4 mana charges. And for the potion, the reliable healing potion, it just restores it's 1 charge, it restores a base 20 hit points, and it costs 20 EC.
Yep, I thought Aen's going to get both of those then.
Perfect. So that's gonna be a total of 50 EC.
Ooh, poor Calvinish.
Oh, speaking of which, Thordane, as you go out and you're shopping and whatnot, you begin to you don't know what it is, but you feel kind of like this sense of moodiness as you wander around. Every time you walk by one of these Fesh and Fey elves, your blood boils. As you look at them, you can't see them for anything other than infidels. I'm gonna have you make a mind survival check for me.
Welcome to my world.
So that's the modifier plus the 16.
Yep.
Yeah,
Plus
that's,
one,
that's
that's
a
16.
total of that's a natural 20.
Natural 20. You're able to resist, but you begin to hear a voice in your mind that says, "I've had my fill of these people. I have so much hate. I want blood. Blood." As you are able to resist taking your hand off of the pommel of your sword, as you just go upon your daily business, and it gets worse the more money you spend.
We have a mass murderer on our hands.
Yes, so you're able to find those. Anything else that anyone wants to look for before? Yes.
Yuki wants to try the local beverage. You know, the one that's so special that everyone keeps talking about?
The silverleaf tea?
Yeah. She wants more of that.
Alright. That's gonna be 2 EC.
Nice. Does it do anything special or not? It's just delicious.
Are you just drinking it, or are you taking to go?
Taking it to go, my new cup that has a cup holder and a straw at the top.
See if they'll put some alcohol in it for you.
It's just, you know, it's the fashionable thing in Fesh and Fey these days.
True.
We got hooked onto it. Does it do anything for us?
Yes. So one sip of this tea restores 1d4 stamina.
Oh, sweet. How many charges do I have with
2
that
charges.
one?
It's gonna be 2 EC.
Easy. Okay. Sorry. All right.
Yes.
Good stuff.
That's all you.
I was just waving to Mrs. Beekler.
Oh, nice.
Yes, she says hello.
Hello.
Hello to the wide world of Fantasy Forge. Mrs. Beekler says hi.
Perfect. You guys, all, if there's nothing else to take a look at, you guys all reconvene at Alamnia's Breath. It is a beautiful day, few clouds in the sky, a nice, good breeze pointing in the northwardly direction as you begin to kick off and set sail. But before you do, you see this Fesh and Fey elf come wandering down, and he's got 4 trunks. One in his right hand, one in his right hand, and 2 beneath his arms. As he strolls up, just like he doesn't seem to be struggling at all with his stuff, as he just strolls up and says, "Is this the vessel? Is this the ship?" All of you are on board, and you're about ready to depart.
Yes!
Oh,
Oh,
Hey,
familiar
Radical
face.
Bill, help our guest on board!
What'd you say? Who's this feller? And he jumps up, and he's basically like in the roping. He's like, "Who's this feller?" And he jumps off the ship, and he falls down, and he like does a little roll, and he like ends it in like kind of like a kneeled bow to this guy. "Are you a passenger?"
Did the review not include the lively crew?
Ha ha ha! Acrobats on board. Good show. Good show. As he flips a silver piece to Barnacle Bill, he says, "Do help an elf out," and he hands over two of the ones that were underneath his arms. And Barnacle Bill, yes, sir! And he goes up and he lifts. He's like, "Argh!" And he's barely able to lift them off the ground. Follow me. As he just is struggling to go on board. Hey, throw down the gangway.
I guess Belvin will throw down the gangway.
And a big board comes down. Watch your step. Watch your step. As he just struggles up the side. Where we put him?
He wanted to be in the bottom of the ship, where it's
The
safe.
room right next to Yuki.
Oh, that's right. That's right. It's a nice, cool place.
Mm-hmm.
Come with me. Follow me. How much did you pack? Goodness gracious. As he continues to
Didn't Belbin charge him some to get on the ship?
No, that was to delay it one day. He
Oh, right.
charged him an extra 10 EC to delay the trip one day.
That's a hard bargain, but this guy is fine.
Who did we just bring on board? Like,
Is he-
who
is-
this guy?
Is he our only passenger? No one else.
Passenger.
Well, let's make this a really good ship ride for him. By the way,
Yes!
Yuki's still looking out
I
over the
love that.
horizons, seeing if she sees any hint of royalty of sorts.
Yes, I'm gonna have you make a wisdom skill check for me.
Okay, it's not bad. Wisdom. It's a 14.
You delay and you wait as long as you possibly can. Once your new guest, Nalathar, gets situated, you're about to basically kick off from, and you hear that sound of hooves as a chariot comes up. You see just King Farrand as he looks up to you and he says one word before the gangway gets put away, and he climbs up onto the ship and he says one word.
That's 2 words.
Got him.
Belbin, don't piss off the king.
I understand that you are well, it might be a while before we see you again.
Don't tell our passenger that.
My emissary, I wanted to tell you word that my emissary had returned and wasn't able to find any traces of Aldrich. However, I haven't heard any news that he has departed. No one has caught sign of Aldrich Monteblair leaving any ports within within Folden Rock. So chances are he is there, but he is remaining inconspicuous for whatever reason. He is well respected, which is why this is quite confusing to me. Do be safe. And he kind of looks to all of you and he smiles and he says, while you are there, I hear the best drink in town is at the Gilded Mass Tavern.
Someone write that down.
I got it.
I got it. Yuki's got it. Gilded
Yeah,
Master.
because no one can read Zill's handwriting.
Hey, I got us a passenger.
All right, yes.
Got yourself a second passenger as well. And he
You're coming with us?
He gestures down, and you can see covered in a cloak, stepping out of the carriage from the back, Princess Mila, she makes her way out of the carriage as she comes up the gangway, and he looks to all of you and says, "You take good care of my daughter. She's been out and about before, and she's always had my protection. I've seen what you are capable of, but I've also seen the dangers that are attracted to you."
I think the 5 of us can amount to the same amount of protection as you.
Tell
He
that
laughs.
to our last passengers.
We want to leave on a good impression.
He laughs and he says, "Well, you are definitely ones for humor, and I do think that you have a lot to teach my daughter about the world. You're well traveled. Your crew looks," and he sees Barnacle Bill come up the stairs. Adept.
Particle Bill, we need to move that passenger out of that room so Mila can go in there.
What'd you say? Right away, ma'am. And he goes down. He's like, "Hey, you, get out of that room." "No, that's right. We got a hammock for you below." And you hear, "Goodness gracious, is this what we call roughing it?"
It just stays with the ship.
You don't know the half of roughing it. We're gonna have a lot of
"Do you
fun.
at least
out
have storage for my luggage? I don't want the crew digging through it. I have private things in there."
It's very
Particle
trustworthy.
Bill, don't we have another room that we can put him in?
"Of course we got another room. We got plenty. A lot of them were empty since well, you know."
Put him in one of those rooms.
Sorry, sir. We got another room for you right over yonder here. It's all part of the game. It's all part of the show. And he grabs, and you hear struggling down below as you look down in like the cargo area, and you see them walking. And the guy's like, "Goodness gracious, this is a lively ship, isn't it?"
You will have the most fun of your life on this ship.
It's already a foot and a half.
Guaranteed.
Ooh,
And there's
hey,
a nice
Particle
on the
Bill,
floor.
maybe help out, Finn, maybe help out Particle Bill. He's,
We've got to.
Yes, I've made sure all of the cannons are loaded, or not cannons, all of the ballistas are loaded, and we are good to see if there's any strange beasts that we encounter at sea. Pirate attacks, perhaps. And he begins naming off all of the potential dangers that you can.
Hey!
not around the gas.
Hey, King Farron.
We can have a
and
strategy meeting later.
He notices King Farron and he gives a bow. "The name is Finn. Well, I'm here to protect this ship and make sure everybody gets to their destination as safe as possible." And he holds out his hand.
He's got a great
"You have
track
my
record.
word that we will deliver your daughter back here safely by the end of the day." And he looks to the rest of
End
you
of
and
the
smiles
day.
or by the end of the trip.
Don't
Wait, this
overpromise,
isn't just a night. This
metaphorical
isn't
day.
just a dinner cruise.
No. Not a dinner cruise.
The metaphorical day.
King Farron, I do have one question for you.
Yes.
So, I do recall us convincing, was it? Oh, not Nazarene? Was it King Nazarene? No.
Nalgoric Cragheim.
It was Nalgoric. Okay.
Yeah.
Convincing King Nalgoric for our predicament with the situation at large was difficult. Convincing you a little less so, because we were able to relate to you King Nalgoric's concerns as well. Is the presence of your daughter, Princess Mila, enough to communicate the gravity of the situation to the Monteblairs, or is there some other sign you can send with us to them to alert them to how serious this is, especially us being unexpected bearers of the Earth Key?
You are bearers of the Earth Key, is that correct?
We are, but
There's actually.
they don't know that. That's my concern.
While you are in Folden Rock, there is a temple in Hightown. It's called Folden Temple.
Well named.
They are the ones who are responsible for, well, the missionaries that were down from the faith of Amandalius. Let them know of the demise of their missionaries, and that you are now the current holders of the Earth Key. Whoever is there will lead you in the right direction, but as for now, the fact that my daughter is with you should be enough.
Okay.
Yeah, Yazil, she's our shining star. No matter who you are.
I'm new to the whole world of
I understand you want to cover
Well,
all of your bases.
anything
This
but
is-
streets, really.
From what you have told me about the gravity of the situation, and from what we understand, this is quite urgent indeed. I'll make sure I prepare all of my people for the worst to come, while you continue your task. I do have faith, absolute faith, that you will be able to accomplish what you have set out to do. My emissaries, they're good, but they are only bound legally to do the things that they are able to do. You are free contractors, per se. I'm not saying do anything out of the law of Folden Rock, but I am also saying that you have a bit of leeway when it comes to people knowing who you are and what you are about. Use that to your advantage. Don't give away to just everyone you see your purpose. Folden Rock is a place of trade, primarily commerce. But do take to heart this. There are others that are out that have ears that can listen into conversations even when you think you're completely alone. Fesh and Fae, we are quite safe indeed away from many criminals. You can have conversations relatively freely. We respect secrecy. But in Folden Rock, information is often worth far more than gold or silver, or even refinium. Don't
Well,
let
I'm
people
dirt poor,
gain
then.
information on you about what your task is and what you're about unless they absolutely need to know. I don't know what exactly we're up against. I can only point and hint at ideas. But we don't know who these pirates, demons, creatures of the sea are working for. Keep an eye out, keep an ear out, watch my daughter. Make sure that she goes about the city relatively unknown. I have faith that you can do this. But don't attract too much attention to yourselves. You're a rowdy bunch. Not to say that's a bad thing, but it's also could perhaps be a detriment to your task at hand.
I know, you gotta tell that Thornton guy. He's just bouncing off the wall.
I do not worry about him.
Oh.
He's giving
What
you
was
mage
the
side eye right
temple you
now.
told us to go to?
Yes, Folden Temple. That's where the Order of Amandalius, at least in the Inland Strait, is. As I mentioned, it's in Hightown. And he begins to tell you a little bit about the general look of Folden Rock. There are 4 districts. There is the Port District, which is where every boat is meant to come in and out. There's one way in and out of the city for public use, and it is at the Port District. In there's a large market, but also some taverns and that kind of stuff. There's a farming district as well, where they are relatively self-sufficient just in case trade or there's any kind of blockades that happen to the city. They have Lowtown and then Hightown. Lowtown isn't necessarily a slum, but it's a place where the common people are. Hightown is a more protected place, and it's where many of the entertainment, but also kind of like high-class society, such as banks, that kind of stuff, is kept in Hightown. Hightown, along with the Harrogate Manor. It is also in Hightown as well. And so he lets you in a little bit of the information, and he also continues to say there's a heavy guard presence that is in Folden Rock. They harbor perhaps one of the largest treasuries in all of Everlast. As I mentioned, this is the middle point for those who seek to do trade from the west and east ends of the continent. They are going to approach you for anything suspicious, and they will also approach you if you're just minding your own business. Make sure you have your ducks in order and your stories intact. They will be able to see through any deceit. They're well trained in what they do, and their sole goal isn't that of villainy, but to protect the city, and you must understand.
Yeah, King.
King Farron, one last thing.
Of course.
The going rate for the trip is 25 EC a day.
He laughs.
Oh my god.
He laughs, and he looks to you and says, "Here." And he throws over to you, Belbin, a sack, and inside, 200 EP.
Oh!
This should more than cover the expenses for my daughter. Make sure you spend it wisely, and make sure that her time here is comfortable. I'm not telling you, and he leans over to you. I'm not telling you to treat her special, but she's accustomed to a way of life, and I would like for her to remain comfortable while she's on board your ship.
There won't be a scratch on her head when we return her.
Enjoy yourself, my daughter. The world is a beautiful place. Watch your back, rely on your companions. They'll be able to protect you if you need it. Don't go wandering off on your own. Be smart, and know who you represent. I'm very proud of you, and I look forward to your return. Your safe return. And again, he gives you all the eye. I will see you once you find Aldreg Monteblair. I will meet you, if not here at Feshenfay, before we make our way down to Flomberge. I do find that we are going to, well, let's just say this is the beginning of a beautiful friendship, partnership, and perhaps one step closer to making Everlast a much safer place for us all to be able to sail these seas. Farewell. As he leaves, he goes down the gangway and he waits. He doesn't go into his chariot as he waves as you depart onto the high seas. Your eyes set towards the direction of Folden Rock, and that is where we're going to end our session tonight.
Whoa!
You're telling me that this session, all we did was leave again. We left. The second session in a row.
Whoa! So
left.
much leaving.
We left,
Hey,
absolutely.
Zill got blinged out.
True. Lots of good stuff happened. A lot of good setup. Like, these episodes are quite important. They might seem like, hey, time for shopping, time for some downtime, but you need that break in between like adventures. You guys think about it. You had just literally spent like 2.5 months inside a dungeon, and so the fact that like you have a couple of days where you can breathe easy, you're now off on your next adventure. Like things are good. It's nice to kind of get that little bit of respite. These past couple of sessions have had me dying as far as laughing goes, and just I'm glad we're having a good time. So, good stuff.
I do work in the morning, so I should head out here. But
Sounds good.
it was
Do you
a
have any
fun sesh.
Do you have any quick words on the session in general?
Yeah, it was good. It's always fun to try to figure out how Luke saw, and I need to update you on my backstory, but
For sure.
yeah, her backstory interacting with the world is just a fun time.
For
So,
sure.
and had some good laughs. So,
One thing that I will mention before I do let you go, Cole. And because daylight savings is this week in the States, we are going to be keeping Everlast at the same time for you guys, which means Ikari, for you and I, it's going to be an hour earlier.
Great.
Starting, when is it? So right now, today's the 8th.
The next
So
session.
the next session, which our next session will be for you guys in the West, the 22nd. It'll be the 23rd for us over here.
Wonderful.
Yeah. That shouldn't be a
Instead
problem.
of for me starting at 11:30, it'll be at 10:30, just an hour earlier, based off of that. So
Great.
that's the
Sounds
plan.
good.
Same time for you guys.
Ikari,
but
do you guys
beautiful.
get daylight savings? Where you
yes,
guys are?
I'm still
okay.
in daylight savings. So
There you go.
Perfect. So same time
It'll
for
be
you.
11:30 for me, and when daylight savings ends, then it'll be 10:30. So
Perfect.
There you go.
Yeah. So
Cool.
everybody who has daylight savings, it stays at the same time. For everybody not, which is me, it's not at the same time. I have mine an hour away. So no
Great.
worries. It'll be sweet. Thanks, Cole. I appreciate it. We will catch you later.
Thanks, guys. See ya.
Cool. Bye. Let's go ahead and go in reverse order. Ikari, what were your thoughts on tonight's session? I'm listening. I have to go to the bathroom real quick though, but I
Okay.
have you in my ears, so I'm listening.
all right, it was a really fun session. A lot of laughter, a lot of fun,
Mhm.
some great shopping done. Spent a lot of money. Bit of insight into what apparently a girls' night is like, which
Oh yeah.
pretty wild.
Because we know. Because both Cole and I know so well.
All that rebellion.
Oh yeah. For sure. I'm gonna have to fill you in though on
I do need that,
Calvinish and the backstory with all that, so you're aware of what's going on there. So
I will have a few questions about how to
Mhm.
put everything into the document for my character that was purchased and everything like that. So
sounds good.
other than that, though,
I can
yeah,
help you.
great session.
Great. I guess that means Connor. You
Yeah.
wanna go?
Yeah, it was good. That 200 EP at the end there, that really threw me for a loop. Holy cow, where'd that come from?
He's a king.
I know, right? But
That's also not
was
Belbin
not
money. That's
no,
ship
that
money.
is. I had 5 EP before that, and now I don't know how if we want to divvy it up or how we want to do that. But I just put 200 in there for now.
I think there's a ship coffers or something.
There is, yeah. And I was looking. It's like every day. I was trying to do the
David,
math on
girl
the.
whose name I can't think of.
Yep.
Yeah, the 200 EP. See, sometimes it's worth being a little bit snarky about like, excuse me, she just coming for free. Of
This
course
is not. Yeah. But no, I think I'm looking forward to next session. I think we've only done, I guess, that one. It might have been a multiple session thing, but the sea adventures always are kind of fun. Just how we were traveling. At least I remember the one where we were running. That whole session was pretty fun. So I'm looking forward to this
Hopefully
next
you're
session
not
being on the sea.
attracting Azale Doom again.
Yeah, hopefully we don't run into him, but I'm sure something else will come. And there's always some crazy strategy with the maps, and I remember that being like, it's
Yeah,
a change,
I think if I remember, you guys had 3 sessions at sea.
3 sessions,
before.
yeah.
The first one was just kind of like the exploration, and that was like the introduction of like the different characters that you had on board, and that was like where the fight happened with like the Teapot of Madness. And was that? Yeah, that was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Thordane freaking being a beast at judo.
And then the next was like the travel day, and at the end of that session, that's when you guys found Azale Doom, and then you had the Azale Doom chase day, which was also intense. So, yeah, crazy. Yeah. It's definitely going to be a change of pace from what you guys have experienced, going from like dungeon to like on land stuff to like travel. It's like all of these aspects of the game really kind of back to back, which is nice. So I'd agree.
Well, and it's fun too because it's like we knew our characters and we went through all these changes, kind of have to adjust with the cultures and races and stuff like that. And then we're also just getting thrown into going back to the ship. So all the new stuff is just kind of a fun change, and you have to figure it out on the fly sometimes.
That's true. That's true. And again, this is a really good spot too. That if you have more to add to your backstory, if you have more that you want to add to your character, now that you're kind of getting ideas, maybe more familiar with the world, feel free to do that. And if you want to talk to me about it, send me documents about so I can read things over. We don't have to sit down and have like a conversation like this to go through it. But if you have ideas, just send them to me and I'll read them over and be like, yeah, sweet, just so I can kind of know what's going on and help you to craft something that makes sense with the world. I'm more than happy to do that. Especially because, yeah, for some of you, it's been 5 years that we've done this, and so maybe some of the stuff that you had as far as ideas, maybe are changing a little bit. I know we've already touched a little bit on Belbin's backstory with the whole his whole a little bit of his backstory, but getting to know what's her bucket,
Shada.
yeah, Shada. Shalazar, and so yeah, she's still back at Takai Town, and so there's things to keep in mind for all of that. But if you guys have different ideas, things you want to add on to your backstory that you're maybe thinking of, feel free. Now's the time to be able to do that. Everything's changing and up in the air kind of anyways, and so it's a good time for that for sure. But yeah, cool. And by the way, thank you, Ikari. I heard everything that you said. I just couldn't respond, so I'm glad. Yeah, I'll make sure to fill you in with everything for Calvinesh and all of that, and your cursed sword and everything. Yeah, it's good. It's a very strong sword, but it's definitely a very cursed sword. So, for sure. Anything else, Connor?
No, just good session.
Cool. Dane.
Yeah, I mean, I really like these sessions. I mean, Everlast is one of those things that I look forward to every 2 weeks. Than they do. I wish it was more often, but you know what? I think it allows me to fully enjoy it when it's every other week, kind of thing. I don't know. Man, I really like this group of people that we're playing with, and it's just, I feel like we're all so goofy in a good way, very focused as well, and we all have our heads in the right direction on where we're going. Yet everyone's so unique. I mean, as far as Yuki goes and the thoughts on Yuki this session, I mean, I had 2, then became 3 things that I needed to do, that I had my mind going into the session, was trying to convince Princess Mila to join us. I was so bummed when I heard that it was just the king coming up, and then I was pleasantly surprised at the very end there. But I don't know. I guess this is more of a question for you, Kyle.
Yes.
Did you expect that to be the case moving forward?
No, I mean, the nice thing is I had 2 weeks to think about it. But actually, a lot of it had to do with your roles. And so when you were talking to Princess Mila, I mean, again, I don't want to spoil too much because you'll have opportunity during the travel and everything to be able to talk things through and whatnot. The Nat 16 for that check did go a long way to helping. So it wasn't for certain, but you planted an idea in her head, really planted an idea in her head. And you had already spoken with King Farrand about it, so he kind of had a general idea as well. Whatever the conversation the 2 of them had entailed, you don't really know what that is yet.
Yeah.
But it was enough to be able to bring her on board, at least for now. So.
Well, and I do give Cole props too, just kind of coming in on the situation halfway through the session, not really knowing what's going on, but he rolled with the punch as well. I was just like, hey, it's gotta be girls' night coming out here, because Cole or Luxali is real good with being able to leave a good impression on the royalty, and that was kind of Yuki's the thought process going in there. But no, I mean, obviously it was really good. Lots of really good conversation, getting to know Princess Mila a little bit better. I'm glad the rest of the party as well could get some really nice purchasing done, upgrading done, all that wonderfulness. And just, I miss the crew. I missed Barnacle Bill and freaking Martha.
I missed you too. Howdy.
Lord. and what's her name? Bree, and and just all of them, just in general. I'm gonna have to really learn them again, but it's always a really good time coming back.
Yeah, that is one nice thing. If you remember back in the end of that Azale Doom episode, it was rolling to see who survived.
Yep.
and every single one of like the main NPC crew members barely hung on, and they survived.
Mhm.
And so, there's definitely everybody still to explore. And now you've got the new guy, Nelithar. Speaking
I'm
of
so
which,
excited for
write
him.
him down in your guys' character sheets
Alright,
for
yeah.
the ship, just so you guys don't forget him.
Nalathar. Nalathar, what?
Tindomian.
Okay. But yeah, I mean, I'm excited to see how he goes. I think he's gonna be awesome. I just picture him like a Nigel Thornberry type of character, smashing.
Smashing.
Yeah.
What do we see out there on the horizon? Ooh, is that a blue whale? Smashing.
But I mean, just in general, I had a really good session. And it's always a great way to end my week for sure and start the next one.
Sweet.
That's all I have to say. Yep.
Cool. Max, last but not least.
Oh, fun. This was a good one. It's really funny that I think I have a different voice for Zill every single time. Which
Totally
is
fine. It's good. It,
a
like
hoot.
the many faces, like the many titles of Zill.
And it's
many
also
voices.
funny because it's since day one, especially since the shift to the Everlast stats versus D&D, it's nope, Zill has no charm. He would have had no point in his life to actually learn charm. Because kind of if you're an orphan, it goes one of two ways. You become very charming to distract people and pickpocket them, or just really confrontational. Confrontational is the way it went.
Oh yeah.
But that comes out most of the time, except for someone who's in the same world as him. So another Smith, a dragon, he's locked in. He becomes this suave, charming guy that doesn't show up anywhere else, which was really funny. It's fun to, lean into the Smith part of him. Get those
Every
axes.
opportunity Zill
Oh,
can
yeah.
do any kind of blacksmithing, he's just
Oh,
like,
yeah.
we're in a town. Let's go listen to where the hammer strikes fall.
Yep. Anytime. And finally got those hand axes updated, make him a little more menacing for
Zill, I think you spent close to the same amount that Thordane spent just with upgrading and repairing your gear.
80. It was only 80 EC.
Yeah, and I think Thordane for repairing his bow and also for all of the arrows spent 83 or something. So
yeah, it was.
Yeah, everyone had a lot of people had deep pockets today.
Yeah, which is funny because I still have almost 1,000 EC.
Jeez. Oh jeez.
Zill is very frugal, except when it comes to equipment and blacksmithing. He's "Yep, here's my money, take it." So that was a lot of fun, and just leaning into the other, just small quirks that don't come up very much. Yes, scrawling this review in penmanship that nobody can read, with a review of 10 out of 5 stars, just tiny details like that.
Sometimes the unexpected parts of the session tend to be the most entertaining.
And then has a bright moment, which I hope isn't too out of character. I'm still kind of weighing these things of okay, is Princess Mila going to be assurance enough to get them to listen to us?
Mm-hmm.
Part of just no filter and total obliviousness. I have no idea how any of this works. So I hope that's how it's coming off to our dear audience. But that was kind of the thought behind it. It was generally out of oblivious of I don't know what the Monta Blairs are going to be like. I don't know what's going to be good enough for them. Is she going to be good enough? Who knows?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm excited to see, especially as you guys get into Folden Rock. Of course, you'll have a little bit of some sea adventures, but as you guys make port at Folden Rock, a new location, a new locale, trying to figure things out. hunting down Aldrich Monteblair and get things going. I'm very excited for this kind of like next leg of the adventure. I think it'll be quite different to what you guys have experienced so far without revealing too much. It'll be a lot of, I think, problem solving and like communication and conversation, and like I'm very much looking forward to it. Like we kind of like moving on, because like stopping by Fashion Faye very much felt like, okay, like great, we're gonna like rest, do our last couple of things, but like I genuinely, since you guys were probably in Helix, well, I guess Shiloh and Port Grandam to a little bit, like it's been a while to like have, and I guess a little bit with Tuck High Town, but you guys have had like a city like campaign exploration type thing, and so yeah, it'll be kind of cool. Like I just really quickly for everybody here, I have like an entire, finally finished my map of Folden Rock. It's quite detailed and there's lots to be able to look at, so ton of locations, so this place is going to be huge to be able to go through and discover and investigate and whatnot. Look forward to it. It'll be sweet. But yeah, yeah, it'll be cool. Next leg is definitely going to be the next leg, and a little bit of a recap too. Like literally since this kind of adventure has begun, I guess this is kind of like its own little campaign. Like each like of like the different keys has like its own little story involved around it. Like we had the Earth Pillar, which happened right before we started streaming it. Like it was kind of like a dungeon you went down, and then there was like the whole boss battle with like the Elemental, the whole thing with the Flame Pillar, where it was like going to do like the just figuring things out, what's happening. And like you didn't have to do anything to discover the pillar, but there was a lot to do on Aishan Island revolving the Flame Pillar. And now like you went to the kind of was like a little dungeon associated with the Water Pillar, the Sea Pillar, and everything there. And then we'll see kind of like what goes on with this final Sky Pillar and like where that leads us. So keep an open mind. It'll be great. It'll be fun. Hopefully everybody who's watching enjoys. But yeah, it was honestly a great session. I really appreciate all of you for being here. It was awesome to have everybody today, and everybody contributing. It was super cool. I was really, really excited to be able to have that. So, Dane, do you have any announcements or anything?
Yeah, just a couple quick ones. So tomorrow is the last stream of the week. We will be continuing on with not continue. We're gonna be starting a brand new game. We're gonna be playing Pokemon Legends Arceus. So again, with the new news coming out on Pokemon Day of Pokemon Legends A to Z. I haven't played Pokemon Legends Arceus, so we're going to be finally diving into that world, starting a new game. So that will be tomorrow, 2 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. However, it's going to be daylight time soon. Just a reminder for those of my friends who celebrate daylight savings, keep that in mind. So but however, the nice thing is if you join the Discord, feel free to join the Discord. You can get the schedules updated with the time that your computer is set as. So like computers usually update with the daylight savings. So as long as your computer does that, it's the same stream times. So consider that. And aside from that, daylight savings, just keep in mind, Kyle, you're probably going to be finishing Baldur's Gate here this week, right?
This week. If not on Monday, it'll be on Wednesday.
Yeah, so Kyle streams Western time on Sundays and Tuesdays of Baldur's Gate. However, he switches on and off depending on one of the other things that we have. So that's Monday. Monday, I will be continuing Pokemon Legends Arceus. Tuesday, Kyle's going to be playing some Baldur's Gate or a new game. Kyle, what's the next game you're going to be playing if you do finish on Sundays?
I will be playing Ghost of Tsushima. I will actually not be able to stream AME in the morning, and so we're pushing that to the following week. But in the evening, I will be streaming either the finishing Baldur's Gate or Ghost of Tsushima. So that's a game. It's been out for a few years, but essentially you're a samurai and you're defending Tsushima, which is an island from the invasion of the Mongols. So super cool, really fun game. I've already played it before, but I'm so excited to be able to play it with you guys because it's just I've been itching to get back into it. So if you love Japan and samurai culture, you'll love it.
and it's gorgeous. Like it really is a beautiful game too.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see you play that as well. On Wednesday, as Kyle mentioned, Kyle's not going to be doing Adventures in Middle Earth this week, so we're taking a week off of that. However, the next week is going to be technically the first session together, session 3 of Erebor Adventures, which is our new
Area
group of
Adventures.
sorry, Eriador. Erebor is the Lonely Mountain. Sorry, Eriador, the west part of Middle Earth. And it is with my character Valinith, who is a high elf of Rivendell, Cole's character who is introduced, which is a Dunedain, which is really, really cool. And named Kyrian, and a guy named Calafir, who is a what is he, Kyle? He's your character technically.
Yeah,
So.
he's a DMPC, but he's from Dol Amroth. He is a captain of the Silver Swan Court, so he's a man of Gondor.
Yeah, but it's gonna be lots of action. Come join us. That's in 2 weeks. Wednesday afternoon, I think Cole's streaming Fire Emblem 3 Houses. If he's not doing that, then he's going to be doing it on Thursday, and then on that other day, I will be playing some Pokemon Legends Arceus. Nothing on Friday, and then more Legends Arceus on the Saturday. So until then, that's the week ahead. We have an amazing sponsor, DaiSNACKi, Japanese sweets and luxury treats. They also have 2 spring boxes available right now. They have the Matcha box and they have the Sakura season box, which are really cool. Those are their seasonal boxes that they come out with. Definitely worth it. I got I think I got a Sakura season box last year, and it was amazing. It was absolutely amazing, especially if you like traditional Japanese snacks. Springtime is the season for traditional Japanese snacks. So go give them a look. If you want just like a normal box of just the assortments from all over Japan, you feel free to pick up one of their omakase boxes. And if you want more like themed goods, their kawaii box is like more anime themed goods, but then they also have like themed ones such as like a Disney box, a Sanrio box, a Pokemon box, and a Nintendo box. So you can consider taking a look at those. If you do decide to purchase from them, it's free international shipping, but make sure that you mention that Fantasy Forge sent you. There's a little checkout box, you can mention, hey, I came from Fantasy Forge. That's how they know. That's how we get the credit. So please let them know that Fantasy Forge sent you. And it's just really good stuff. Aside from that, yeah, just stay tuned for the rest of the streams coming. Keep a look at the schedule on the Discord. That's the best place to catch up on that kind of thing. But Kyle, again, when's the next session of Everlast?
Next session is going to be 2 weeks from now. So again, for those who are on the west side, it'll be Friday the 22nd at the same time for you guys. But for us, without daylight savings, it'll be the 23rd, an hour earlier. So it'll be starting at 10:30 instead of 11:30 JST. So.
Cool. And well, just one last thing. It's a small little announcement. It's actually been active for quite a while now. However, we did change merch stores. So we were using Streamlabs. I was very disappointed with like the quality. It was very hit or miss. Some product was really good. Some product wasn't very good. We haven't updated the Everlast stuff, but we did change merch stores to Printify. So now we're using Printify. We get way more kickback. So any purchase made there, we get about half the profit, which is really, really nice. So consider if you've been looking into getting some of our merch items, this is the time to do it. It's decently cheap by standards of
and
prices today.
So much higher, especially for the shirts. Like I got my
Yeah.
Calafir shirt, and it is so much better.
And that's the big thing. We just weren't very satisfied with the quality itself. So we will be updating. The Everlast merch isn't in there yet. I'm still debating on whether or not I need to make a separate store for Everlast, or we're just putting in with the Fantasy Forge. But in the Fantasy Forge, it's actually linked below. You can check out some of our Adventures in Middle Earth gear. We also have some exclusive like game gear based off the series that we play. We got some Zelda merch in there. We got some Hollow Knight merch in there. But overall, just way better quality. The studio gets way more kickback. We get way more kickback from it, which is really awesome. And if you just want to support the channel financially, that's a great way to be able to do it. So, and also just really cool designs. The artists do a great job for all of them. So it's pretty sweet. Aside from that, nothing. I'm done.
Sweet.
Yeah.
I think that's going to do it, unless anyone has any last-minute things to say. May Alumnia guide you. God bless you all. Pray for each other. Pray for us. It'll be great. Happy Lent to all those who celebrate. And we're going to continue onward and see you guys all of us here are going to see you in 2 weeks, but I will see you guys on Monday. God bless you all, and I will see you soon. Bye, guys.